pitch swinging, belted, deep right center. Goodbye! The count is now full. Gonzalez sets up outside. And Cozart hits it high and deep to right field, and he's going to watch it fly into Kudzu Hill. A 2-out home run by Cozart. 12-0 NC State. As Pennington hits it high in the sky, left field, goodbye. A 3-2 pitch belted over the left field fence. Makarevich stings it into right field. It's got a chance to fly out of here. It does, into the bleachers in the blink of an eye. Alec Makarevich leaves the yard. He's got a 4-hit day. Cozart gets into this pitch. The 1-0 is belted deep into Kudzu Hill. His second homer today as he goes back-to-back with AMAC. Wants to go to Omaha. He drills this. Center field. It's carrying. Gone. Tie game. Top of the sixth, NC State leading 4-2. This game has not lacked drama so far. Eli Serrano to bat. First pitch swinging. Put it on the scoreboard already. It is over the scoreboard. Sosa launches deep right field. If it's fair, it's way out of here. It's a fair ball. Alex Sosa into Kudzu Hill. Solo shot. How important Pennington and Makarevich have been to this team. AMAC, deep drive, right center field. It's going. Gone! Deep into the Athens night in right center. Smith trying to finish out this game. Phelps, first pitch swinging to center. Serrano is under it. He's pumping his fist. He made the catch! On to Omaha again! For the second time in the last 4 years, NC State is headed to the Men's College World Series. It's a dog pile in the infield at the home of the Dogs. What a super regional it was. So hard to get to Omaha, but the Pack is back for the second time in the last 4 seasons. You can find me on Twitter at AJ Sanders PXP. Again, at AJ Sanders PXP. We've got some press conference sound for you, but that'll be coming up on the other side of our break as they are announcing both teams right now. We're closing in towards the national anthem. Tell you quickly about the pitching matchup. As expected, it is Sam Highfill against Trey Poozer. A couple of right-handers going to work. The mayor returning to the place that made him the mayor. Last time we saw him in 2021 pitching at this ballpark, 7 1/3 innings of shutout ball, 2 hits, 7 strikeouts against Vanderbilt as he outdueled Jack Leiter in that classic winner's bracket game. And Sam is coming off a super regional win over Georgia when he went 6 innings strong and gave up just 1 run. NC State is 14-2 when he starts this season. Meanwhile, Poozer is coming off a Sam Highfill-type performance in the Supers, 7 innings scoreless against Oregon State. It's time for the national anthem. We'll take our break. When we come back on the other side, Zach Burhans will have a scoreboard. We'll also have some press conference sound for you as well. You're listening to the NC State Baseball pregame show here in the Men's College World Series from Learfield.
Together, that's how we stay in the game, ready to play. As one team, UNC Health is keeping you well with renewed focus and approach to care services for you and your family. UNC Health, official healthcare provider of NC State Athletics. Learn more at unchealth.org/sports. Again, that's unchealth.org/sports.
Hey, Wolfpack Wolfpack fans, Bojangles is ready for game day. Bojangles, proud sponsor of Wolfpack Baseball, is home of the tailgate meal. 8 pieces of seasoned Cajun fried chicken, 2 picnic-sized fixins, 4 made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuits, and a half a gallon of Bojangles iced tea. Whether it's before or after the game, baseball and Bojangles, a Wolfpack tradition.
This season, the peanut farmers of North Carolina are proud to support the Pac-9 and remind you that peanuts are high in protein and contain 0 cholesterol. Peanuts are a snack for on the go, at home, or while you're cheering on the Pack at Doak Field. North Carolina peanut farmers are a proud sponsor of NC State baseball.
Hey, Pack fans, did you know over the past decade, Rebels Turf and Tractor and John Deere have provided turf equipment to maintain the sports fields at NC State? They're pleased to feature new and pre-owned golf and sports turf maintenance equipment. Rebels Turf and Tractor has a location in Myrtle Beach and their home base in Fuquay Marina or RebelsTractor.com. You're now able to provide the same field conditions that the Pack plays on each week with the help of Rebels Turf and Tractor. Rebels Turf and Tractor is proud to support Wolfpack Athletics.
Zach Burhan's inside the Learfield Network studios as we continue on the pregame show, getting you ready for the Men's College World Series featuring NC State and Kentucky. The postseason started with 64 teams, 8 of which represented the ACC. 8 teams remain today, 4 from the ACC and 4 from the SEC. It's the first time since 1948 that only 2 conferences are represented in the Men's College World Series. The 4 ACC teams are Florida State, NC State, North Carolina, and Virginia. The Seminoles have now reached the College World Series 24 times, NC State 4, North Carolina 12, and Virginia 7. The 4 SEC teams are Florida, Kentucky, Tennessee, and Texas A&M. The Gators have advanced to the College World Series 14 times. For Kentucky, this is their first appearance. Tennessee has 7 and Texas A&M 8. So how did these 8 teams punch their ticket? Florida beat the odds in regionals. The Gators were in the Stillwater Regional and were 1-1 after 2 games. Then they beat Nebraska and Oklahoma State on doubleheader Sunday, forcing a Game 3 that next day. Florida won that game as well to advance to the Clemson Super Regional. Florida would go on to eliminate the Tigers from postseason play after the Gators went 2-0. Florida State went 3-0 in the Tallahassee Regional, eliminating Alabama, UCF, and Stetson. And then the Seminoles broke records in the Tallahassee Super Regional, defeating UConn in 2 games. Game 1 was the record-breaking night as FSU broke the record for most runs scored at 24 and broke the win margin record with 20 runs in a 24-4 win margin. Kentucky goes 3-0 in the Lexington Regional, eliminating Indiana State, Illinois, and Western Michigan, and then eliminated Oregon State in the Lexington Super Regional in 2 games. NC State goes 3-0 in the Raleigh Regional, eliminating South Carolina, James Madison, and Bryant. NC State then went on the road and downed Georgia in the Athens Super Regional 2-1. North Carolina goes 3-1 in the Chapel Hill Regional, eliminating LSU, Wofford, and Long Island University. The Tar Heels then went 2-0 in the Chapel Hill Super Regional, eliminating West Virginia. Tennessee cruised in the Knoxville Regional, going 3-0, eliminating Southern Miss, Indiana, and Northern Kentucky, and then escaped the Knoxville Super Regional 2-1, eliminating Evansville. Texas A&M went 3-0 in the Bryan College Station Regional, eliminating Louisiana, Texas, and Grambling. The Aggies then went 2-0 in the Bryan College Station Super Regional, eliminating Oregon. Lastly is Virginia. They went 3-0 in the Charlottesville Regional, eliminating Mississippi State, St. John's, and Pennsylvania. The Cavaliers went 2-0 in the Charlottesville Super Regional, eliminating Kansas State. And that's how we got to where we are. 2 games concluded yesterday. North Carolina gets past Virginia 3-2 as Vance Honeycutt hit a walk-off single to win it for the Tar Heels. No team had a walk-off in the first game of the Men's College World Series since 1996. And Florida State battled top-ranked Tennessee. And, well, you know how I brought up the walk-off for the Tar Heels? The Volunteers followed suit with a 4-run ninth inning to walk off the Seminoles 12-11. Tennessee's Christian Moore also hit for the cycle, which was the first of its kind since Jerry Kendall did so with Minnesota in 1956. Florida faces off with Texas A&M tonight at 7 o'clock. And now the stage is set. Grab some peanuts and get ready. Coming up next, we rejoin with Andrew Sanders for starting lineups and first pitch. You're listening to NC State Baseball on the Wolfpack Sports Network from Learfield.
Thousands of our teammates make and deliver 300 of Coca-Cola's brands and flavors locally. From the heartland to the coast, in big cities and small towns, our products are moving and our trucks are rolling. We share a purpose, and we love to refresh and serve our communities. We are Coca-Cola Consolidated, your local bottler.
Together, that's how we stay in the game, ready to play. As one team, UNC Health is keeping you well with renewed focus and approach to care services for you and your family. UNC Health, official healthcare provider of NC State Athletics. Learn more at unchealth.org/sports. Again, that's unchealth.org/sports.
An NC State tradition since the year 2000, Sammy's Tap and Grill offers food, atmosphere, and a selection of beers for all NC State sports fans. Sammy's has spaces available for parties, both large and small. Sammy's Tap and Grill is located between NC State University's main and Centennial campus on Avon Ferry Road in the Mission Valley Shopping Center.
Hey, Pack fans, did you know over the past decade, Rebels Turf and Tractor and John Deere have provided turf equipment to maintain the sports fields at NC State? They're pleased to feature new and pre-owned golf and sports turf maintenance equipment. Rebels Turf and Tractor has a location in Myrtle Beach and their home base in Fuquay Marina or rebelstractor.com. You're now able to provide the same field conditions that the Pack plays on each week with the help of Rebels Turf and Tractor. Rebels Turf and Tractor is proud to support Wolfpack Athletics.
I mean, when you get here, it's just like, it's kind of overwhelming. Similar to how it felt a couple of years ago. Like you're just so overwhelmed. Like so excited to be here, and we got a couple days before we play, but there's all sorts of things going on every single day, and so you just got to do your best to focus for that 50-minute period we have out there. Like really focus, get your throwing in, get your swings in, and just keep your mind on baseball.
I would say, like, going off what Sam said, you got to soak it in and enjoy it. We've earned it. There's a lot of fans out there that want our attention, so we give them our time. But when it's time to go, I think we're going to spread the word around, especially to the younger guys. Like, let's go do business.
Sam Highfill and Alec Makarevich during Media Day. NC State entering this Men's College World Series firing on all cylinders. AMAC says it's really a 1-9 effort from the offense.
I think the biggest thing that gives us is just the confidence, especially as an offense. I think 1-9 too. Everyone can do damage, especially when there's 2 outs. I feel like we're so confident even with 2 outs in the inning, it's not over.
For most players like AMAC, it's their first trip to play here in Omaha in the Men's College World Series. But for Sam Highfill, it's a return.
It's so incredibly hard to get here, and we found that out the past couple of years. It's so incredibly hard. Everybody you have to beat to get here is such a good team, and so the goal was always to be back. And I knew it wasn't going to be easy, but I definitely thought every year we had a shot, and that's all you need is find a way to the postseason, and then you're 5 or 6 wins away.
It took 5 wins to reach Omaha, and now NC State finds itself 5 wins away from a national championship. It all starts today against an outstanding Kentucky team.
I mean, they're a very talented team, very athletic, a ton of good players, a ton of good pitchers, and you just have to play fundamental baseball. Like, if they're going to try and give you outs, then you have to be able to take them and not compound mistakes, because that's what those offenses live on. And so we just have to do our best to make the fundamental plays.
Yeah, I would say, going off that, I mean, we can't really try to do too much, make the routine plays and just go out there and play the game.
It's the second trip to Omaha in the last 4 years, and Coach Avent says that, getting those veterans like Sam Highfill back to Omaha after how 2021 ended is special.
Taking any team back here is special, but we have 4 guys, I believe, 7 that were on that 21 team that were part of this year's team, but 4 that are here with us now. And for those guys to get back here, because nobody will ever understand how difficult with players over many things. The hardest thing I've ever done is having to sit 27 players who gave their heart and soul to achieve a goal of a lifetime and tell them we were going home. So to have those 4 guys back on this trip, it means a lot to me.
Kentucky is a team that loves to create chaos with those 118 stolen bases on the year, but Coach Avent says his team's ready for the challenge.
If you got to prepare for what a team does right now, you're not going to be ready. You prepare for that in the fall and January, February, and all year long. So if you're not prepared for the style of baseball that Kentucky plays now, you're not going to get prepared this week.
Blue Cross and Blue Shield of North Carolina, official health insurance partner of NC State Athletics, believes an inclusive community is a healthy community. Here for the Wolfpack, here for all. You heard from Zach Burhans, you heard from Coach Avent, Sam Highfill, Alec Makarevich. Now it's time to play ball. Kentucky, the home team. Right-hander Trey Poser on the mounds against the same NC State lineup for head coach Elliott Avent. Eli Serrano will lead things off, followed by Garrett Pennington and Alec Makarevich here in inning number 1. Serrano's in the box. Here we go. First pitch is wide of home plate. It comes in right on time, 1:09 local time, 2:09 if you're listening back home in Raleigh. Serrano takes it inside for ball 2. They give us a fantastic effects feed, and you can hear home plate umpire Mike Morris call that a ball inside. Poser's ready with the 2-0, and Serrano sees that. Off-speed pitch high for ball 3. Eli steps out of the box just a moment. Deep exhale. He hasn't seen a strike yet. Kentucky right-hander Trey Poser's ready again. And he walked him on 4 pitches. So how about that for a Kentucky team that allowed just 3 hits and a couple of runs in the Super? An NCAA record, 3 hits, 2 games combined. Not a hit, but it is a leadoff base runner, as Serrano hadn't seen a strike. Garrett Pennington's turn now. The right-hander Trey Poser, senior, 3.46 ERA, 7-1 on the year in 83 1/3 innings. That's just his 34th walk. 79 strikeouts as he throws over to first, and Serrano gets back in safely. There was a question in that press conference, by the way, NC State, what uniforms would they wear? Coach Avent told Sam Highfill, hey, we wear whatever you want. Here's the first pitch to Serrano, and there is a strike. 91 on the fastball for Poser. He will mix in a fastball, a slider, and a changeup, much like NC State's Sam Highfill. So Pennington might have been taken all the way there, right? Make sure he can throw you at least 1 strike. Poser does. Now it's an 0-1 count with Serrano off of first. Breaking ball, and Pennington hits it in the air to left field. Again, the wind is howling in, and that ball will be caught in left by Ryan Waldschmidt. Waldschmidt took a few steps back. It honestly wasn't hit terribly by Pennington at all. I think he hit it very well. But again, with the wind blowing in, Waldschmidt retraced his steps back to his original positioning and then came in even more. Line drives or infield hits are going to have to rule the day offensively today. It is going to be really tough if you elevate the ball. NC State tried to swing up a little bit at Georgia. Why not? Hit 10 home runs in 3 games. Alec Makarevich hit a big one. He's first pitch swinging, and he stings it into the left center field gap. But again, that wind's going to hold it up, and Waldschmidt makes the catch for out number 2. So NC State with a couple of flyouts, and there's 2 gone here in the first. Serrano's still standing on first base. Kentucky's first ever appearance in the Men's College World Series. They've got to feel at home. It is a beautiful playing surface here as Jacob Kozar digs into the left-handed batter's box. And a first pitch breaking ball snaps in for strike 1. Beautiful playing surface. It is a natural grass surface. And wouldn't you know, they're playing on Kentucky bluegrass here in Omaha. Serrano with the lead off of first. Poozer from the stretch fires, and a little late on the swing is Kozart as he hits it foul. The Wolfpack catcher hit 3 of those 10 home runs in the Super Regional in Athens. Hitting an even 300 on the year with now 19 long flies. Kentucky defending him straight up. The 0-2 pitch is lined into right field over the head of the second baseman, Petrie. Serrano staying at second. So a walk and a hit in the first, and NC State seems to be seeing Poozer pretty well. Again, he is coming off an incredible performance. He went 7 innings strong against Oregon State and gave up just 1 hit. He did walk 4, but struck out 8. Well, NC State is the visiting team here with a chance to swing the bats first and a chance to score first. It's the shortstop, Brandon Butterworth, with 2 on and 2 out. Butterworth first pitch swinging, and he hacks it foul on the third base side. There is a ton of foul ground here at the Chuck, as they affectionately call it, Charles Schwab Field. Most of that foul ground is behind home plate and past the dugouts. It gets a little tighter as you get down the line. But the dugouts are way away as compared to most college ballparks. Time called, and the catcher, Devin Burks, I think he maybe needs a new pitch comm system. He's the emotional leader of this team. He was named Mr. Wildcat this year, and Burks will get a new wristband. Essentially, that pitch comm system is how NC State and Kentucky get their signals in. Gives everybody a chance just to reset. 2 on, 2 out. It's only been 11 pitches so far for right-hander Trey Poozer after he walked Serrano on 4 pitches, then got a couple of quick outs, getting Pennington and Makarevich to fly out before a 2-out single by Kozar. We're back ready to play ball. The 0-1 is not close, down and away with a 93-mile-an-hour fastball from Poozer. Maybe some early nerves from the right-hander pitching in front of what is not quite a sellout crowd, but mostly full. And again, this place seats 24,000. Serrano's on second, Kozart on first, and the pitch is down and away. Two and one now to Butterworth. The .250 average on his season. 12 doubles, a couple triples, and 7 home runs. 31 driven in. NC State would love to see 32 here. And the pitch. Hit in the air. Way up in the sky in right field. Coming in is McCoy. And he makes the catch. And the inning is over. Again, with the wind doing what it is doing, just blustery day. It's all blowing in. Fly ball's not going to be what NC State is looking for here in this ball game. And 3 flyouts in the first inning. But a couple of base runners. No runs on the 1 hit, no errors, 2 left aboard. We've played half an inning here in Omaha. Sam Highfill will pitch when we come back. You're listening to Wolfpack Baseball from Learfield.
Hey, Wolfpack fans, Bojangles is ready for game day. Bojangles, proud sponsor of Wolfpack Baseball, is home of the tailgate meal. 8 pieces of seasoned Cajun fried chicken, 2 picnic-sized Pictons, 4 made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuits, and a half a gallon of Bojangles iced tea. Whether it's before or after the game, baseball and Bojangles, a Wolfpack tradition.
This season, the peanut farmers of North Carolina are proud to support the Pac-9 and remind you that peanuts are high in protein and contain zero cholesterol. Peanuts are a snack for on the go, at home, or while you're cheering on the Pack at Doak Field. North Carolina peanut farmers are a proud sponsor of NC State baseball.
Hampton Farms peanuts are available to snack on with friends and family while cheering on the Pack at Doak Field. Hampton Farms peanuts, go nuts for the Wolfpack. It is the bottom of the first inning, no score between the Wolfpack and the Wildcats. NC State did threaten in the first with a leadoff walk from Serrano and a two-out single by Kozar, but left two aboard in the first. Well, I mentioned earlier that Coach Avent told Sam Highfill when some of the reporters asked, hey, what are you guys going to wear for the opening game? And Sam said, oh, I don't know. We could go this. We could go that. Last time, right, we wore the pinstripes. Said, I don't think we brought the pinstripes this year. But remember, NC State wore the road black uniforms in game one against Georgia. And as Sam said, hey, that went pretty well, an 18-1 win. And that's exactly what they've got on for today's game. The black tops, road gray pants, red stripe down the side. Kentucky in their Kentucky blue tops, white pants as the home team. Ryan Waldschmidt is the left fielder and the leadoff batter for a Kentucky team that loves to play small ball. They do have a couple of guys that can run it out of the yard, and Waldschmidt second on the team with 14 homers. But the leadoff man batting .346 with an on-base percentage up over 47%. Highfield's ready to deliver, and the first pitch is swung on and hit in the air to right field. Souls moving towards foul ground, giving it a look, and it'll reach the seats. And I think the wind maybe got a hold of that one a bit. Again, it's mostly from my vantage point. There are a number of flags in center field just to the right of the batter's eye, and it has been really consistently blowing in. But, and I have been here before, fortunate enough to do so, they say that the wind typically will swirl here. And off the bat, I thought Souls was going to be able to run under that. I think he maybe thought so too. It ended up reaching the seats. So just a strike one to Ryan Waldschmidt. Fifth-year senior Sam Highfill rears back and fires strike two. 91 on the fastball. That's about where he'll sit. An ERA of .506. 7-2 is the win-loss record, but NC State is 14-2 overall this year when Highfill is the starting pitcher. Here's his 0-2 offering, high at the letters. NC State defending Waldschmidt pretty straight up. Before there were two strikes on him, Makarevich was playing up. Always have to respect the bunt against Kentucky, but now with two strikes, he's back at third base. The windup and the pitch. He painted strike three. That is what he does. Living away from the right-handed batter, and he gets the backwards K to begin his day. Of course, Highfield coming off of that win at Georgia. He got a ton of run support, but you know what? Give him a lot of credit, too. He got NC State deep in that game and really saved the bullpen, which we know turned out to be huge later on in that series. Here's the second baseman, Petrie, who takes ball one, starting him with a fastball. Emilian Petrie, left-handed batting second baseman, .298 average. A stellar defensive player. Having a good offensive season now, an offensive breakouts. It's a borderline pitch for a strike at the letters. Kentucky fans making their first ever trip to Men's College World Series didn't like that strike call from Mike Morris. Kellen Levy is at first, David Ewell is at second, Scott Klein is at third. The rest of your umpiring crew for this opening game for NC State and Kentucky. There's strike two from Highfill as he snaps in the breaking ball. Again, like Boozer, he'll mix in the fastball, slider, and changeup. The right-handers are somewhat similar. Shifting Petrie here with two strikes, and staying away is Highfill. Count is 2-2. No score between NC State and Kentucky here. 1 out in the bottom of the first. The Wolfpack fans getting behind the right-hander. Foul ball. Protecting against a fastball a little late. NC State is the visiting team today. The Pack occupying that first base dugout. That foul ball was shot over on the Kentucky side, on the third base side. Highfield will try again on 2-2. And another foul ball over towards that third base side. Petrie plays second base, but he's one of 3 shortstops essentially in the infield for Kentucky. Part of the reason why their defense is so good. It's a good formula, right? Strong pitching, outstanding defense, and they can manufacture runs. Highfield rears back and gets another foul ball. Up to 92 with that fastball, and Petrie seeing a steady diet. Junior from Quebec. French is his first language, and when he went to high school, he went to an all French-speaking high school, grew up in a suburb of Montreal. It's been a battle here with the 2-2 count. It's 3 straight foul balls. Here comes another, and another foul ball. Goes off speed here, and Petrie just parries that away also. Petrie was named to the Lexington Regional All-Tourney team. Kentucky, like NC State, went 3-0 in its home regional. They've played the minimum games to get here. Took care of Oregon State in 2 games. Another 2-2 and another foul ball. Well, Coach Chrysler has mixed it up, right? He's gone off speed. He's gone back to the fastball, and Petrie's continued to get the bat on it. Highfield. Close pitch, ball 3. Just below the knees. Well, we're getting an early look at exactly what Kentucky can do. The payoff is popped up and out of play. So Highfield is at 15 pitches already. I think he only threw 4 to the leadoff man, right? What an at-bat this has been from the Kentucky second baseman. Again, Highfield will try, and this is hit in the air to center. Serrano a few steps back, now a few more. He's looking up, and it bounces, one-hopping the wall. Wow. It's a 1-out double for Emilian Petrie. I'm going to be honest, I didn't know if I was going to see a ball hit over an outfielder's head today with the way that the wind is blowing. Petrie with 9 homers on the year, and Highfield threw it right down the middle, and Petrie elevating it. And you know what? When you see a ball elevated in this ballpark with this wind, you think, well, it'll be caught. Not the case. Landed on the track in deep left center. So after an exhausting second batter, Petrie's in scoring position for Burks, the catcher, who takes the slider down and away. Back to a right-handed batter. Man on deck, Nick Lopez is the DH. He's a switch hitter, and he's a first-team All-SEC member. Burks bats just .250. Not your prototypical 3-hole hitter. Only 3 home runs on the year as well. Shows bunt, pulls it away. It's a strike. But again, he has all the intangibles. He's not an on-base machine either. But he does run exceptionally well. And so the top 3 guys in this Kentucky lineup, they all have 19 or more steals. Swing and a miss. Highfield just blew it right by him. And it's 1-2. So Kentucky just kind of stacks speedy guys. And yes, I know he's the catcher, but again, he's stolen 19 bases this year.
Yes.
You hear the Kentucky dugouts as Heifel spins and throws back to second, where Hefner makes the catch. Not much of a lead there by Petrie. Kind of the game within the game, right? One of the reasons we love baseball. And the matchup of Jacob Cozart, a Buster Posey Award finalist, one of 3 finalists for the finest catcher in the country, against this Kentucky run game is a very intriguing matchup. Heifel fakes the throw. Now he does throw, and he throws it over the head of Hefner. It was an afterthought, and Petrie will move into third, and there's still only 1 out. Remember, they changed the rule about stepping off the rubber and not making a throw. So Heifel faked a throw. He didn't want to, and then kind of as an afterthought, he said, oh, you know what, I should. That's what we're supposed to do. And he soft-tossed it over the head of Hefner. NC State error-free in the Super Regional. Now an RBI chance for Burks. The pitch. He watches strike 3. Second strikeout of the first inning by Heifel, and exactly what he needed with Petrie 90 feet away after that E1. Again, fly balls aren't going to get you much today, but with a man on third and less than 2 outs, that's probably what Burks was looking for. And Heifel once again breaks out the paintbrush and strikes him out looking. Now he has to contend with the lefty. First team All-SEC member, DH Nick Lopez. First pitch swinging, and Kentucky leads. Liner into center fields. And that would have scored Petrie whether he was at second or at third. A 1-out double and a 2-out single. And Nick Lopez, I got a chance to introduce him, but didn't even give you the numbers on the first pitch. A .350 hitter, driving in his 51st of the season. In steps the third baseman, right-handed batter Mitchell Daly, who is a veteran here in Omaha, his first year with Kentucky. Shows bunt, pulls it away, strike 1, up and in. Lopez, by the way, not a stolen base threat. Just 3 stolen bases on the year. One of the few guys on this team that doesn't run a lot. Daly, the Texas transfer, making his 3rd trip here to Omaha. Ball! Snap throw back down to first. And Pennington didn't catch it. He was on a hop from Cozart, but he did knock it down. Lopez back safely at first. Again, Kentucky just trying to create chaos, even for a guy that does not steal like Lopez. He's only attempted 5 this year. He had a big secondary lead. It's part of what Kentucky does. They want to get your attention. See if you'll throw the ball away, even if they're not going, as Lopez is not here, and Heifel snaps in a breaking ball that you hear home plate umpire Mike Morris call ball 2. 1-0 Kentucky here, bottom of the first, with a man on first and 2 out, and a 2-1 count on Daly. Line drive into left field, and that is a base hit. Well, Kentucky, with the wind blowing in, they did hit a ball to the track, but also now back-to-back line drives. They've got 3 hits here in the first inning. And that's going to get Jacob Cozart a slow walk out to the mound. Just trying to settle Sam Heifel in. He's got 2 strikeouts in this inning, but I tell you what, I think that at bat by Petrie, as the rest of the infield will now join Cozart and Heifel. That at bat by the second baseman Petrie was huge to get the pitch count up, and then obviously to eventually find himself on second base after a double. It's 25 pitches in the first inning for Kentucky. Now keep in mind, NC State's next game, win or lose, will be Monday. So you don't have to worry quite as much about, if you're thinking about the bullpen and, you know, how deep can Heifel get in this game with a 25-pitch first inning. Ryan Nicholson, the home run king for Kentucky, steps in and tried to check his swing. It was a called strike anyways. John Deere equipment from Revels Turf and Tractor helps keep the playing field at Doak Field maintained for the Wolfpack in Fuquay, Varina, or Myrtle Beach. Revels Turf and Tractor is a source for turf equipment, John Deere tractors, and more. My name is Andrew Sanders. So glad you could join me here for a broadcast from Omaha, Nebraska. The greatest show on dirt is what they call it. One inning in the books, and Kentucky leads 1-0. Alex Sosa starts the second swinging as he hits it in the air to center field. It's right at the center fielder. And Nolan McCarthy makes the catch for out number 1. So NC State has made 4 outs so far, and all 4 have been flyouts. Trey Boozer did not throw a strike to the first batter, Eli Serrano, but he was able to settle in. NC State with 1 hit in this game so far belongs to Jacob Kozar. Luke Nixon, the freshman, following up Sosa, sees his first pitch, and he swings and misses. First pitch off speed to Nixon. The 0-1. Did it hit him? No, it caught our home plate umpire, Mike Morris. It just wasn't caught by Burks, the catcher. Oh, pardon me, it did hit him. It caught both of them. I did not see, obviously, home plate umpire Mike Morris did not point and give Nixon the base initially because it must have hit off the elbow guard, and I'm going to get a look at a replay now. It did hit off the elbow of Nixon and then deflected down and caught our home plate umpire in the right hand. And so when he was grimacing in pain, and he's being seen to by the trainer right now, shaking his hands. He was starting to put that right hand behind his right thigh, but obviously it wasn't completely protected. When you leave that hand out, that can unfortunately happen, and it really, really hurts. So Nixon was hit by the pitch. He'll be the base runner here with 1 out in the second. Because they give you such a great crowd effect here, or effects feed here, you could hear that contact. And I thought initially, because the pitch was inside, obviously, I thought it had hit Nixon, but he did not really react. And it was home plate umpire Mike Morris shaking his right hand. It looks like he's going to be able to stay in this game as he puts his mask back on. So NC State with a base runner, and our home plate umpire is all right. And he points to Trey Boozer and says, play. Matt Hefner will bat, the 8-hole hitter. NC State, bottom of the order. Swinging again in a foul ball. And it is 0-2 on the starting right fielder who, hey, he made Sports Center with a diving catch and foul ground in that game. That game 3 in Athens. 221 hitter. 5 homers on a year in which he missed a little over a month with ankle surgery. Having a good poke. Upstairs it goes at eye level. Soul shuffles a little dirt in that left-handed batter's box. 5th-year senior from Thomasville, Ledford High School. Had 3 hits in Athens. Remember, he got NC State going in game 1 with 5. NC State will take that as well. Nixon to third, Hefner to second. It's a 3 unassisted for the second out here in the second inning. What that does is it puts 2 into scoring position for Eli Serrano, who walked on 4 pitches to lead off the game. So a base hit here would put NC State in front likely. Just a slight shift for Kentucky, playing the center fielder to pull. Boozer has not towed the rubber yet. He's looking down at his pitch comp system, and I don't think he has the signal yet. Kentucky has got to figure this out. First it was the catcher, but now home plate umpire Mike Morris is telling Poozer to go get someone else's PitchCom system, so he goes to the third baseman Daly and says, hey, can I borrow that, please? I need it more than you do. And so what that does, and I've gone over this over the year, but for those of you who are unfamiliar, instead of relaying a ton of signs, it's essentially an Apple Watch, if you will, although probably can't do as much as your Apple Watch can do, right? But it's just very similar to the Apple Watch. You can get the pitch call and the placement. It saves time. It also tells all the infielders, hey, this is where the pitch is. All right, now we're ready. And Serrano takes a breaking ball strike. Again, Luke Nixon at third and Hebner's at second. NC State trails 1-0 here with 2 outs. Top of the order back up. It's the first strike Serrano has seen from Poozer. Inside, he almost hit him. Serrano, the player of the game. #1 play on SportsCenter with his defense, the catch in center field. He also hit a home run. He had 3 hits. He was tremendous. And you know, in the big games, you need your best players to step up, and that was certainly the case for NC State in the winner-take-all. You hear some boos coming in because Poozer was late getting the sign, and he's got to step off again. All kinds of technological issues. Certainly that could throw off the pitcher, right? Might throw off Serrano, too. Now we're ready for baseball again in the 1-1 pitch. Tried to check his swing. I thought he went around. He did, says Scott Klein, third base umpire. One seemed to be pretty obvious, although pretty 50-50 check swing last night. Did not go the way of the ACC team. And ended up being the difference in the game as Tennessee came back against FSU. It's a ball and 2 strikes against Toronto with 2 in scoring position. And it bounces in 2-2. Good take on the breaking ball. Serrano trying to extend this inning as Poozer nears 30 pitches. 4 years at the College of Charleston, the 5th year right-hander delivers. Ground ball directly at Petrie, the second baseman, and he makes the play. NC State's bottom of the order threatens, but couldn't get the 2-out hit that Kentucky got to get on the scoreboard first. 1-0 Wildcats. We played 1.5 here at the Chuck. You're listening to Wolfpack Baseball from Learfield.
Hey, Wolfpack fans, Bojangles is ready for game day. Bojangles, proud sponsor of Wolfpack Baseball, is home of the tailgate meal. 8 pieces of seasoned Cajun fried chicken, 2 picnic-sized fixins, 4 made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuits, and a half a gallon of Bojangles iced tea. Whether it's before or after the game, baseball and Bojangles, a Wolfpack tradition.
Hey, Pack fans, did you know over the past decade, Rebels Turf and Tractor and John Deere have provided turf equipment to maintain the sports fields at NC State? They're pleased to feature new and pre-owned golf and sports turf maintenance equipment. Rebels Turf and Tractor has a location in Myrtle Beach and their home base in Fuquay Marina or RebelsTractor.com. You're now able to provide the same field conditions that the Pack plays on each week with the help of Rebels Turf and Tractor. Rebels Turf and Tractor is proud to support Wolfpack Athletics.
NC State trails Kentucky 1-0 in the bottom of the second of the Men's College World Series. Zach Burhan's back inside the Learfield Network studios, give you an updated look at the rest of the College World Series. 2 games concluded yesterday. North Carolina gets past Virginia 3-2 as Vance Honeycutt hit a walk-off single to win it for the Tar Heels. And then Florida State battled top-ranked Tennessee, and well, it was another walk-off as the Volunteers score 4 runs in the 9th to walk it off against the Seminoles 12-11. Coming up at 7 o'clock tonight, it's Florida and Texas A&M. As we head back to the ballpark, here's Andrew Sanders.
Thank you, Zach, for that scoreboard update. It's game time at LS Tractor, proud sponsor of NC State Athletics. Equipment with up to 100 horsepower is at lstractorusa.com and at the 11 LS Tractor dealers across North Carolina. NC State will play either Texas A&M or Florida next. Just depend on win or loss for both the Pack and those two teams. First pitch of the second inning for Sam Highfill is high to the 7-hole hitter, Nolan McCarthy, the center fielder, followed by James McCoy and Grant Smith. 7, 8, 9 in the Kentucky order. This sets up as a big inning for Highfill. It's only the second, trailing 1-0. Ball 2 inside on McCarthy. The reason I say it sets up as a big inning is he threw 31 pitches in the first. McCarthy could not be any more on top of the plate as the 2-0 pitch. Oh, does not get the outside corner where it looked like that ball was. And I tell you what, if McCarthy's going to have his kind of Craig Biggio protected elbow on that inside corner, he doesn't get the outside corner. It's tough to find the strike zone. And he walks him on 4 pitches. So, not the start to this big inning that Sam Highfill was looking for. And McCarthy, center fielder, will take the base. He's only stolen 8 bases this year, 8 for 11. But he's got good wheels, and again, they will look to create chaos in any way they can. It was McCarthy who tweaked his hamstring, they told me, scoring what ended up being the Omaha winning run, if you will, the super regional winning run to get him to Omaha. Highfill has not yet thrown a strike here in inning number 2. He scored the game-winning run in game 2 as Cozart steps out from in front of home plate, but does not walk all the way out there. Just makes a signal to his infield. McCarthy scored the game-winning run. You probably saw it, either on the internet, maybe on SportsCenter. He scored from second on a wild pitch. First pitch swinging foul is James McCoy, switch hitting right fielder. McCoy, just a sophomore, batting .228, 6 homers, 25 driven in. This bottom of the order for Kentucky is a lot like NC State's bottom of the order. The batting averages are not, 300, but they get on base and they make stuff happen as Highfill is able to beat him with a fastball. McCarthy hasn't gotten too aggressive at first base yet. Again, told me that he has been, running on that hamstring and is appearing fine. He's going to play, but maybe hampering him still just a little bit. He's not moving here, and that's another called strike 3. It's 4 outs recorded by Highfill, all of them via the strikeout. 3 of them have been called. Typically, Sam Highfill, when he's racking up the strikeouts, it's because he's missing bats. But that's just a perfectly well-located fastball at the knees. And McCoy watches it. He's on the outside corner, too. Pitcher's pitch right there. 9-hole batter, Grant Smith, star shortstop. 248 hitter. First pitch swinging into right. Souls, couple steps back. Couple more now towards the line. He makes the catch for out number 2. Again, the wind is playing a factor, and I think certainly swirling, because Souls kind of went back and then towards the line, and that's not the direction that the flags are telling me that it's blowing. But here's what I can tell you. Again, those flags have been pretty consistently just in from straightaway center field. Occasionally shifting just a little bit, maybe in from right field, but for the most part, for the last 3 hours, it's been straight in from center field. But again, I think they are swirling out there. 2 gone now, and first pitch swing. This is shot into right. Souls under it, makes the catch as he retires the leadoff man Waldschmidt, and the inning is over. So that leadoff walk on 4 pitches for Highfill, but he gets a strikeout, then a couple of quick outs, and he was a lot more efficient in inning number 2. A good sign. He puts up a 0. It's 1-0 Kentucky as we move to the 3rd, where the heart of the NC State order is due up. Pennington and Amack and Cozart next from Learfield.
Amedio's has been serving homemade Italian food in the Triangle since 1963. At Amedio's, they use authentic family recipes and ingredients to make classics such as lasagna or oven-baked pizza. Amedio's has an NC State atmosphere with autographs and memorabilia covering their walls. Amedio's Family Restaurant is a proud supporter of NC State baseball.
Together, that's how we stay in the game, ready to play. As one team, UNC Health is keeping you well with renewed focus and approach to care services for you and your family. UNC Health, official healthcare provider of NC State Athletics. Learn more at unchealth.org/sports. Again, that's unchealth.org/sports.
Hampton Farms peanuts are available to snack on with friends and family while cheering on the Pack at Doak Field. Hampton Farms peanuts, go nuts for the Wolfpack. It's Kentucky 1 and NC State nothing here, top of the third on what is a pretty day in Omaha. It's also a pretty windy day. Not the day that I would be getting on the Ferris wheel, which is directly behind center fields. I'm not a big fan of heights, but normally I wouldn't mind the Ferris wheel. As windy as it is today, though, no shot. Not for me. No thank you. 1-0 Kentucky. NC State looking to get on the board here in the third. Garrett Pennington first up. And a breaking ball gets over for right-hander Trey Poozer. Pennington is 0 for 1 with a fly out to left field. Honestly, I thought he hit it pretty well, but again, with the wind coming in, he takes the ball in the left-handed batter's box, ball one. With the wind coming in today, I think, elevate and celebrate is not necessarily the game plan today. 1-1 pitch bounces in. 2-1. I went to this radio booth last night when Florida State and Tennessee were playing just to take a peek. It's a couple booths over from the one that I had back in 2021, but just a couple doors down. Just wanted to take a peek at the view. As Pennington, a little jam shot into left field, base hit. Lead off single for the first baseman. When I poked my head in, there was one gentleman in the booth, and I said, hey, I don't want to disturb you, just wanted to get the view real quick and just introduce myself. It was former Wichita State coach Gene Stevenson, and he asked me about Garrett Pennington. Because remember, Pennington was at Wichita State last year. He told me to tell him, hey, he was proud of him. He'd been watching him on TV. He's having a great year. Also told me to say hello to Coach Avon. They go way back. First pitch swinging, Amack, and a Baltimore chop gloved by the first baseman, Nicholson. He'll step on the bag. That almost snuck over his head. But Nicholson was able to reach up for it and take away a hit. Probably would have been a double. Unfortunate break for Amack. He didn't hit it super well, but when you chop one up like that, you think maybe you can get it over the head of the first baseman. Nicholson is listed at 6'4", and he had to leave his feet to snare it. He gets Pennington into scoring position for Cozart, who already has a hit in this game. Ball one away. So another 3 unassisted for Nicholson for the first out here in the third. NC State going to have a chance here to tie this game with a base hit. And Cozart 1 for 1 with a single back in the first. Poozer comes home with it. Down with the slider. And immediately Burks comes jogging out. I don't know if they got crossed up there or what. He caught it fine, but as soon as that pitch missed, he was sprinting out. 2-0 on Cozart. Just to finish that little story, Coach Stevenson was telling me to say hello to Pennington, their Wichita State ties, and to Coach Avon as well. They go all the way back to when Coach Avon was the head coach at New Mexico State. How about that? It's a small world, and the College World Series has a way of bringing everyone together. After the conference between the battery, Cozart waving the bat in front of him a couple of times before Poozer comes set. He does at the chest and fires. Foul ball. Got a 2-0 fastball, and it's the best one that Poozer has thrown, at least in terms of velocity, up to 94. Hadn't seen that. He might have hit 94. I hadn't seen it. I might not have noticed it. as he nears 40 pitches. 2-1 to Cozy. Hit in the air, left field. This is hit well towards the line. Long run. It is a foul ball. Told you about those swirling winds. I think pushing it foul, but it also wasn't knocking it down. Would have had home run distance had it been fair. It's 335 down the lines here. Instead, it is a loud strike 2. Cozart almost went oppo there. A young fan tried to catch it with his hat. He didn't catch the ball, and he lost the hat. A young Texas A&M fan. All right, from 2-0 to 2-2 now on Cozart with 1 out. Pennington at second. Boozer to the plate. High at the letters, ball 3. For Pennington, by the way, remember I told you last week he played in a D2 College World Series. That was hosted in Cary. This is more of a home game from him. He's from Lenexa, Kansas, about 2.5 hours away. 3-2 to Cozart. Foul ball. Had him just a little bit out in front, but Cozart, with the recognition, was able to just use his athleticism and his hand-eye coordination to put the bat on the ball. That was the 40th pitch from Puza. And another payoff. Fouled away by Cozart. He's got a little way to go, but kind of reminiscent to me of the at-bat that second baseman Emilian Petrie had for Kentucky. Got into a 3-2 count and fouling balls off. He eventually doubled into deep left center. The count's still 3-2. And Cozart again knocks it foul. To a breaking ball there at 86. That's a little ratcheted up from typically he's been about 84 with that slider. So making the right-hander work. Kentucky would love to get 6 or 7 innings out of Boozer. He's gone 5+ innings in 8 straight starts. Typically a guy that can work deep. Again, it's 3-2. And Cozart hits it on the ground to the right side. It's through. Pennington's going to round third. And there'll be no throw. He will score standing up. And it's tied at 1. Jacob Cozart with his second hit of the game. What an AB. Fight it off, get your pitch. It's not the hardest hit he's had this year. That was a slider on the outside corner, and he pulled it. And Kentucky, teams have shifted Cozart quite a bit this year. Kentucky was not. You hear the Wolfpack fans as Butterworth punches a bunt third base side. Daly throws on the run and got him by a half step. Again, they feel like they have 3 shortstops. Daly played a bit of it at Texas, and he's played it 6 times this year at Kentucky when Grant Smith, the shortstop, was out injured. Butterworth thrown out 5-3 on the bunt. 2 gone in the inning, but Cozart in the scoring position. So they will give him a sacrifice there, but I'll tell you what, he was trying to bunt for a hit, but that's worst case scenario is you get Cozy in the scoring position for Sosa here. Who takes ball 1. Catcher Devin Burks pointing towards his pitcher Poozer saying, hey, that was a good pitch, but he did not get the call. Sosa, I thought, hit it pretty well his first time up. He only saw 1 pitch. He lined out in the center. He led off the second. Now here he is in the third. We're tied at 1. Sosa trying to change that here. He takes a fastball. Pardon me, that was off-speed strike. Alex Sosa took part in the opening ceremony's festivities. They had a VR home run derby, virtual reality home run derby. Checked his swing, and the breaking ball is at the shins. Ball 2. He did not win that home run derby. That went to a Florida State player, Jordan Williams. But he did all right. He didn't finish 8th either. 2-1 to the freshman DH. hit on the ground right at Petrie. Fields cleanly, and the throw to first. Got it. NC State ties this game at 1 apiece. A leadoff single from Pennington. He comes around to score on the Cozart RBI single. They leave one aboard, but we are now tied 1-1 as we go to the home half of the third. This is the 2024 Men's College World Series from Learfield.
Thousands of our teammates make and deliver 300 of Coca-Cola's brands and flavors locally. From the heartland to the coast, in big cities and small towns, our products are moving and our trucks are rolling. We share a purpose, and we love to refresh and serve our communities. We are Coca-Cola Consolidated, your local bottler.
An NC State tradition since the year 2000, Sammy's Tap and Grill offers food, atmosphere, and a selection of beers for all NC State sports fans. Sammy's has spaces available for parties, both large and small. Sammy's Tap and Grill is located between NC State University's main and Centennial campus on Avon Ferry Road in the Mission Valley Shopping Center.
Caterpillar and NC State are proud to honor NC State student-athletes for excellence on and off the field. Today's Cat Scholar athlete of the game is Cade McLaughlin. Cade is a senior on the men's golf team studying business administration. Cade is from Princeton, New Jersey. Caterpillar and NC State congratulate Cade McLaughlin and all the other NC State Scholar athletes for their hard work and dedication to excellence. My name is Andrew Sanders. Thanks for joining me here on a beautiful Saturday afternoon. I hear it's beautiful in Raleigh as well, although it is hot here in Omaha. It was 79 at first pitch. We're going to get up into the mid-80s today. 86 is the projected high. It was partly cloudy when we started, and some of those clouds have parted, so a little bit sunnier. Here as we start the bottom of the third, Sam Highfield pops them into Jacob Cozart, but that's ball one. 2-3-4 for Kentucky due up, and it's Emilian Petrie, who doubled and scored back in the first. He had a double-digit pitch count at bat. As Petrie takes a close pitch, just missed upstairs, ball two. As pesky as he was in the first at bat, you'd almost rather him just go ahead and get on base as long as he does it quickly, right? Because I don't think Highfield wants another 12 pitch at bat. Petrie apparently has an expert idea of the strike zone. He just took ball three, and I got to tell you, it is very elevated here at the press box at Charles Schwab Field. Beautiful view. It looked like a strike from here. NC State shifting Petrie, the 3-0. There it is, a strike. Highfield at 45 pitches here, no outs in the third. Petrie trying to set the stage for Burks and Lopez, who will bat after him. The 3-1 from Highfield, and he walked him, not close. Second walk for the Mayor. You can find me on Twitter at AJ Sanders PXP. Again, at AJ Sanders PXP. Sometimes I can take your questions. Or if you're like my grandma who's listening in from Wake Forest, you have my number. She was curious, and appreciate you, Mimi, for listening in. Love you. She was curious about the Kentucky dugout, and I thought it was a great question from her. There's a couple of pink hats in that dugout. Of course, they wear Kentucky blue as the catcher Burks punches a bunt to the right side, sacrificing himself, and Highfield fields it and throws him out. And he was really not even halfway up the line when that out was recorded. Just looking to go ahead and move up Petrie into scoring position. I'm a little surprised that that was the play for Kentucky, if only because Petrie has stolen 25 bases this year. So they didn't even try to get him in motion, maybe. I think that might speak to their respect for catcher Jacob Cozart. But a walk and a sack bunt, and here we are, Kentucky In a tie game 1-1 here in the third, threatening. Nick Lopez has driven in 1 run already, and he takes a fastball away for a ball. Back to the question. Wanted to know about the pink hat in the dugouts. They've got quite a few things going on down there, and they have a motto. First, the pitch from Highfield. Ball. You hear home plate umpire Mike Morris call that a ball as well. So the motto for the SEC Coach of the Year, 8th year head coach Nick Mingione, is get weird. And basically, he said nothing is off limits in the dugout as long as you're cheering on your teammates. Lopez sees another ball, and Highfield falling way behind Petrie, ended up walking him. He's way behind Lopez now, 3-0. So, yeah, it's as simple as that. Get weird is Kentucky's motto, and it's all about positivity. And if you think anything superstitious, whatever, if you think it's going to help the team, 3-0 pitch, jam shot in the infield. Who wants it? Hefner calls for it and makes the catch. It ended up carrying just a couple of steps into the outfield grass. I saw Butterworth calling for it, waving both hands, and I thought he was going to take it, but he gave way to Hefner, who I guess was calling for it a little louder. Good communication there. And how about that? A 3-0 green light, and Highfield able to jam up the All-SEC first-team member. A huge second out on the pop-up. Now it's Mitchell Daly's turn. He singled on a line drive to left back in his first trip. With 2 outs, Daly takes a bouncing ball smothered by Kozar. My old friend, Mitchell Daly. Remember I told you he was here twice with Texas? One time was in 2021. And after NC State beat Stanford, I came to the ballpark and I went down and sat in an empty seat up front watching Kumar Rocker pitch against Arizona. The 1-0 to Daly. He's bunting. Highfield fielding, bare hands, and throws him out at first. Inning over. The mayor fielding his position to perfection. He works around the leadoff walk, and he puts up a 0 in the third. Just to finish that story, who was I sitting next to just by happenstance and talked to the whole game but Mitchell Daly, who was also watching that game when he was a member of the Texas Longhorns, right? I said, baseball's a small world. It was a good bunt he laid down. Amac had no chance to get there. Highfield, barehanded, threw off his back foot, got the out, and will head to the fourth, tied at 1. See if NC State can get its first lead of the game. When we come back, it'll be the bottom of the order. Due up from Learfield.
Hey, Pack fans, did you know over the past decade, Rebels Turf and Tractor and John Deere have provided turf equipment to maintain the sports fields at NC State? They're pleased to feature new and pre-owned golf and sports turf maintenance equipment. Rebels Turf and Tractor has a location in Myrtle Beach and their home base in Fuquay Marina or RebelsTractor.com. You're now able to provide the same field conditions that the Pack plays on each week with the help of Rebels Turf and Tractor. Rebels Turf and Tractor is proud to support Wolfpack Athletics.
Thousands of our teammates make and deliver 300 of Coca-Cola's brands and flavors locally. From the heartland to the coast, in big cities and small towns, our products are moving and our trucks are rolling. We share a purpose, and we love to refresh and serve our communities. We are Coca-Cola Consolidated, your local bottler.
Hampton Farms peanuts are available to snack on with friends and family while cheering on the Pack at Doak Field. Hampton Farms peanuts go nuts for the Wolfpack. Well, Sam Highfield fielding his position and fielding a bunt by Kentucky third baseman Mitchell Daly. To end the third, worked around the leadoff walk. Now can NC State take its first lead? Tied at 1 as we begin the fourth with Luke Nixon, who tried to bunt and hit it over the netting. Oh my goodness, that almost... Actually, it did, I think, get into the upper deck here. Yes, it did. Second row of the upper deck. I am high atop that, so technically with the windows open, I could maybe get a foul ball up here. Nixon not bunting here, and in floats an off-speed pitch that was not competitive. Ball 1. Mitchell Daly, who just tried to sneak that bunt down, he's on the infield grass. That's where you have to be as a corner infielder. Nixon swinging away, stings into the left, Wynn's knocking it down, but it'll be caught by Ryan Waldschmidt. He took a couple of kind of uncertain, choppy steps, almost panicked, but he was able to get there and get the out. So one gone. Matt Hebner, who has a hit, 1 of 4 for the Wolfpack. He'll bat second in this inning. I was saying that's where, as a corner infielder, if you're thinking about the bunt, you have to play not just even with the bag. You have to play in on the infield grass because remember, playing on Kentucky bluegrass. As Hebner takes a slider away. Most teams play on Bermuda, but in this climate, just like up in Kentucky, can't grow Bermuda the same way, I'm told. By no means, as Hebner looks at a strike, by no means am I a grass growing expert. But this Kentucky bluegrass is a little thicker. And what that means is the ball just travels slower through the infield. As Hebner turns it down the left field line, it's foul by a foot. Oh, that was almost reminiscent of his double at Georgia. He is seeing it well. This is just how he started the season. Swinging it well. It's a good hard line drive swing and would have been extra bases for sure had it not hooked foul by a foot. But just keep that in mind. I'm talking about the wind blowing in, but also I think a storyline in this College World Series is the Kentucky bluegrass and how thick it is. It's tall, too. Hebner's ready to hit again, and he sees it above the belts. Ball 2-2. 1 out, nobody on here in the top of the 4th. NC State tied with Kentucky, 1 apiece. Next pitch for Trey Poozer, the starter, will be his 55th, and Hebner sends it into right field. Shouldn't be any trouble. And it's caught by McCoy. 2 gone. Just a step or 2 back for him. So with that grass not only being thick, but being tall, I was talking to the Carolina broadcasters yesterday. Dave Nathan, Kyle Stroud, they were telling me in that game, Carolina against Virginia, that they felt like there were maybe 2 or 3 balls hit in that game that probably normally would be a double play, but they just weren't because they didn't get through the infield fast enough. Noah Souls nearly hit by the first pitch. Ball 1. Poozer working quickly, and Souls swings and misses. You know, I was just telling you about how Kentucky likes to get weird. If you're syncing up the radio call with the TV call, they have been doing an entire piece on that weirdness in the dugout as Souls hits it into the upper deck foul on the third base side, strike 2. It looks like there is a Spider-Man stuffed animal involved, perhaps. Some bubble gum on the hat. It is strange, to be sure. Bottom of the order trying to get something going here, and Souls takes a 93-mile-an-hour fastball high. Ball 2. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs. Number 2 at bat. Deuces Wilds. As Poozer lets it fly. Down and in. Ball 3. This is what Noah Souls does. Working counts. You heard the clip from AMAC if you listen to the pregame show talking about 1 through 9. They're always looking to battle and extend innings. Here comes the payoff. Line drive, left center field. It'll drop. Souls with a 2-out single. And you know, of course, coming back here to Omaha for the first time since 2021, and that was a famous team. I think that was America's team even before, obviously, they exited without a double elimination, without a second loss. But when you come back here, of course, there are going to be some questions about 2021 and coming back. And, of course, Souls was on that team. And, hey, what are the commonalities between these two teams? I think they're different teams, right? Every team is different year over year. Is Eli Serrano top of the order up here with 2 outs. Souls on first. Serrano looking to bunt, takes it away. It's ball one. One thing that I think is similar, though, is that 1 through 9, I think statistically 1 through 9, that 21 team, especially the bottom of the order, as a high throw comes into first, and reaching up and grabbing it is Nicholson. Souls back in safely. This bottom of the order for NC State, they can grind out those at-bats and get off. Serrano hits it on the ground to Petrie's left. He fields in shallow right and makes an accurate throw, and that will end the inning. So NC State doesn't get anything out of it, but it just breaks up pitchers' rhythms a little bit. Certainly, it gets you through the order a little faster. It gets the pitch count up. I have likened it before to like a boxer. It's not necessarily landing the haymaker, right? But it's a number of body blows that start to add up over the course of the afternoon. NC State does not score in the fourth, but does get that 2-out hit from Souls to extend it. 1 run on 5 hits so far for the Pac-9, tied with Kentucky. 1 run on 3 hits for the Wildcats. Home half of the fourth is next from Learfield.
Together, that's how we stay in the game, ready to play. As one team, UNC Health is keeping you well with renewed focus and approach to care services for you and your family. UNC Health, official healthcare provider of NC State Athletics. Learn more at unchealth.org/sports. Again, that's unchealth.org/sports.
Wolfpack fans, Bojangles is ready for game day. Bojangles, proud sponsor of Wolfpack Baseball, is home of the tailgate meal. 8 pieces of seasoned Cajun fried chicken, 2 picnic-sized Fixins, 4 made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuits, and a half a gallon of Bojangles iced tea. Whether it's before or after the game, baseball and Bojangles, a Wolfpack tradition.
NC State and Kentucky are tied at 1 apiece in the bottom of the fourth in the Men's College World Series. Zach Burhan's back inside the Learfield Network studios. Give you a recap of what happened yesterday and what's to come today. North Carolina gets past Virginia 3-2 as Vance Honeycutt hit a walk-off single to win it for the Tar Heels. And Florida State battled top-ranked Tennessee. And, well, it was another walk-off as Tennessee scores 4 in the ninth to walk it off against the Seminoles 12-11. And Christian Moore hit for the cycle, which was the first of its kind in the Men's College World Series since Jerry Kendall did it with Minnesota in 1956. Florida faces off with Texas A&M at 7 o'clock tonight as we head back to the ballpark. Here's Andrew Sanders.
Thank you, Zach. 1 pitch thrown in this bottom of the fourth inning, and Ryan Nicholson hitting it in the air foul down the left side. It is almost completely full here at the ballpark on a very windy day. It is significantly cooler than we have had the last couple of days. 86 the high today. So an 0-1 count on the big first baseman, Ryan Nicholson. He's late on a fastball, and it's quickly strike 2. I mean, I tell you what, first of all, I was born in Raleigh. Mostly grew up in the Raleigh area. So I'm a North Carolina guy. Like, I like it hot. But there was not much wind yesterday. It was baking out there. 0-2 to Nicholson. Up and out for a ball. Like to go get my workout in and then sit in the sauna for a little bit. That's kind of what it felt like yesterday. It was like a sauna here with this wind. I know it's not really great for hitting home runs today, but it is great just to make things feel much cooler for this almost sellout crowd. 1-2 to Nicholson. He gets a piece, an on-time swing, and he hits it straight back. All the way to the backstop past the greatest show on dirt, which the grounds crew has put in here behind home plate. They also, with the field design, got very artistic with the championship trophy cut into center field. Really cool. 1-2 strikes again, and the breaking ball is hit past Makarevich and into left field. Nicholson is aboard with a leadoff single. Left-hander goes opposite way. And And it's the 4th hit for the Wildcats. Now, they sacrificed really without a second thought in the 3rd inning after a leadoff walk. We'll see if Nolan McCarthy is bunting here. Officially 0 for 0 with a walk. Highfill from the stretch. Bunts taken away, ball 1. Nicholson has only stolen 3 bases this year. Again, he's the real lone power hitter in this lineup. So wouldn't be expecting him to straight steal. Of course, he could be on the move. You want to hit and run and hit. Bunt shown, taken away. That gets the right hand of home plate umpire Mike Morris extended to his right. Strike 1. Makarevich was crashing in from 3rd base, and we'll see if McCarthy is trying to bunt again, the center fielder. Redshirt junior from Kalamazoo, not bunting here, and he fouls it straight back. Strike 2. Hit 290 last year, did McCarthy. Right around there again this year in his redshirt junior season, 286 for their most fiery, most expressive player. Highfield's gotten ahead of him here. Won't be bunting with 2 strikes, and the breaking ball is cranked. Trouble down the left field line. It is into the bullpen. A home run for McCarthy. That's about the only way you can get the ball out of here today with the wind blowing in. You got to turn on it down one of the lines. And he smokes it out of here. It's 3-1 Wildcats. Was not sure. If you had asked me before the game, would we see a home run today? I said no. But a Kentucky team that mostly lives with the small ball, they get a home run. 7th of the year for McCarthy. And so now James McCoy, the 8-hole hitter, is effectively the leadoff hitter of the inning. Base is empty, nobody out. He shows bunt, but it's called a strike as he pulls it back. And the thing about Kentucky is they just want to make your infielders constantly have to work, constantly have to think. Oh and 1 from Highfill. Taking away is McCoy. And really, again, just trying to put pressure on you. I think NC State's a team that's well equipped for it, a good defensive team that is very well coached. Left-handed batter McCoy into the left-handed batter's box. That pitch goes 2-1. Redshirt sophomore from Port St. Joe, Florida. McCoy is a two-way player. He's only thrown 4 innings this year, but is a two-way player, which is how Sam Highfill started his career back in 2020 before going pitching only. McCoy swing and a miss. He was swinging for the fences there. Of course, Sam Highfill, last time we saw him here in Omaha, he was playing first base, right? Got 3 hits in that infamous Pac-13. 2-2, McCoy. He's at high, ball 3. McCoy's superstition is he ties his cleats, not a double knot, but a triple knot. 3-2, big pitch here to the 8-hole hitter. Foul ball, we'll do it over again. Went downstairs with a fastball. Highfill at 68 pitches, so nearing 70. We're in the home half of the 4th and nobody out. Now, he threw 111 in Athens last weekend. So he should have some more gas in the tank. 3-2 pitch. Put it past him. Swinging, strike 3. The first 4 outs recorded by Highfill were via the strikeout. And now here in the fourth, that's his 5th strikeout. Again, as I said, McCoy effectively the leadoff hitter now after the 2-run shot by McCarthy. Just try to shake it off. And the slow clap. Boy, I tell you what, Kentucky does it. I've seen so many teams do that this year. Highfill starts with a strike to shortstop Grant Smith, who's 0 for 1, flying out to right field back in the second. Saw Tennessee do it last night. Georgia did it when we were there last weekend. I remember Clemson did it. The slow clap is kind of taking over college baseball. Ball. Highfield's fastball ran in on Smith. 3-1. Kentucky back in front. Highfill kicks the leg, fires, and gets a pop-up. This one's headed towards the seats, I think. Yeah, it will be a souvenir. First base side. So in terms of pitch count, right, Highfill you would think would have some more gas in the tank, but Kentucky's seeing them pretty well. 5 strikeouts to 2 walks. He has given up the 5 hits, including the big fly there by McCarthy. 1-2 to Smith at the letters. Kentucky and white across the chest, and he takes it for ball 2 and then kind of taps his chest, turning back towards the on-deck circle where Ryan Waldschmidt, the leadoff man, awaits. I'd love to face him with 2 outs and nobody aboard. Highfill from the windup. Ooh. Looked like a strike from here. It wasn't caught by Cozart, though. That happens sometimes, and that's maybe a sign that it wasn't a strike because Cozart catches everything, right? So for that not to be caught by Cozart, that tells you he was trying to frame it and steal a strike. He was trying to move his catcher's mitt kind of in one motion as he caught that ball, and that's why he didn't catch it. So it's another deep count, 3-2, and this is hit in the air to left. But Nixon going to be able to run under this one. And he makes the grab comfortably in front of the track for out number 2. So after the big fly given up, strikeout, fly out. And Highfill trying to go 1-2-3 after the McCarthy home run. By the way, you know, McCarthy, I mentioned it's just his 8th home run of the year. He has homered in big games. He's not a guy that beats up against non-conference competition. All 7 of his prior home runs came against SEC opponents. And now he's homered here in the College World Series. Waldschmidt starts 0-1. He's 0 for 2 today with a strikeout looking and a fly out to right. He ended the second inning. Looking to end the 4th here. Love the audio that they give us here at the College World Series, because when our home plate umpire speaks up like that, I feel like I don't even need to call every pitch, right? You already know that ball was off the plate. Highfill rocks and fires. Hit in the air, right side. It'll tail foul. That'll reach the second deck as well. Waldschmidt, 1 year at Charleston Southern. This is his 2nd year with Kentucky. 2nd team All-SEC member. Highfill a strike away from getting out of this 4th. Hit in the air again, same spot, upper deck, first base side. I mean, literally the same spot. The same fans that were reaching for that baseball, reaching for it again. Same section and everything. About halfway up the section to my right in the upper deck. The mayor back to work. Ball. Ooh. Tried to spot up his fastball. Again, Highfill really working away from righties. And he has painted a couple of times today. 3 times, in fact, he's got a strike 3 looking. But give Kentucky a lot of credit, right? The reason he's been in deep counts is because they haven't chased a lot. He goes sidearm here and gives up a fly ball into center. Serrano tracking back in his glove, inning over. That's only the third or fourth time I've seen him do that all season, but that's when he'll try to do it, is just trying to finish out the inning. He changes his arm slot and gets an easy fly ball off the bat of Waldschmidt. 2 runs on 2 hits for the Wildcats in the fourth. They leave nobody aboard, lead it 3-1 as we go to the 5th. And Wes Moore is in attendance. They're interviewing him right now on the video board. I got a chance to talk to him at breakfast this morning, talking to Wolfpack Wes, and they're interviewing him on the video board. How about that? He's here to support the Pac-9. A Final Four for Coach Moore, and now here in Omaha supporting Coach Avon. We'll see if NC State can get some runs in the 5th. Pennington leading off, followed by Amack and Cozart, down 3-1 from Learfield.
Thousands of our teammates make and deliver 300 of Coca-Cola's brands and flavors locally. From the heartland to the coast, in big cities and small towns, our products are moving and our trucks are rolling. We share a purpose, and we love to refresh and serve our communities. We are Coca-Cola Consolidated, your local bottler.
This season, the peanut farmers of North Carolina are proud to support the Pac-9 and remind you that peanuts are high in protein and contain 0 cholesterol. Peanuts are a snack for on the go, at home, or while you're cheering on the Pack at Doak Field. North Carolina peanut farmers are a proud sponsor of NC State baseball.
It's game time at LS Tractor, proud sponsor of NC State Athletics. Equipment with up to 100 horsepower is at lstractorusa.com and at the 11 LS Tractor dealers across North Carolina. And a big thank you to our NC State grounds crew, presented by Eastern Turf Maintenance, for making our field game day beautiful. Eastern Turf Maintenance, from the stadium to your backyard. Garrett Pennington, first pitch swinging in the 5th, and he comes up empty. Kentucky surging ahead again. They scored a run in the first, led it 1-0. NC State, with this part of the lineup up, scored in the 3rd. It was Pennington who led off with a single. He might have another one. Yes, he does. Ground ball up the middle, past the diving glove of Petrie. Good boy, nice job. What'd you do right there? Lead-off single in the 5th. Cozart drove him home. It was 1-1 until the last frame, in which Kentucky scored 2 on one swing. A homer off the bat of Nolan McCarthy. So he showed, hey, you can hit the ball out of the ballpark today. You pretty much got to hit, not a high fly ball, but a driven ball, and you got to hit it down the line. Throw over to first, and Pennington gets back in easily. I said right before the break, NC State head coach Wes Moore was being interviewed on the video board, and of course, they were asking him about what a time for NC State athletics. Amack's first pitch is inside, hit from the left side against the righty Trey Poozer. He's at 67 pitches. Now they're showing Coach Moore on the TV broadcast. He gave, as he always does, a great interview. Amack taking low, ball 2. But talking about, hey, men's basketball made the Final Four and won the ACC. Catcher Devin Burks out of his crowd. She'll jog out to the mound. Of course, women's basketball made the Final Four. I had the luxury of calling that one along with Ernie Myers up in Cleveland. And then NC State baseball here in the College World Series, one of just 3 schools to have ever done it. Texas in 2003, Louisville in 2013, and now NC State here in 2024. Meeting at the mound is over with the catcher Burks. Big pitch here. 2-0. Hitters count to Makarevich. And he grounds it foul. NC State seems to be seeing Poozer pretty well. I mean, again, He threw 7 innings of 1 hit, scoreless ball against Oregon State in the Super Regional. NC State already has 1 run on 6 hits through 4 innings to this point. We're in the 5th now. Makarevich, base hit through the right side. Pennington will stop at second. They do not want to test the arm of McCoy. First and second, nobody out, and the Pack's got something brewing here in the 5th. Just said they were seeing him well, and Makarevich, that ball was a ground ball, but it was hit hard. And that's kind of what it requires today, not the Josh Donaldson launch angle, right? But compact swings, line drives, ground balls. We're going to have a pitching mound visit for the first time in this game from either side. Last week it was head coach Wes Johnson, right? He's the head coach, but also handles the pitchers. Dan Rozelle, former ECU pitching coach. He actually coached Chris Sale when he was at Florida Gulf Coast. He is the pitching coach for the Wildcats, and he makes his appearance out of the dugout. Jacob Cozart, the batter, and speaking of seeing the right-hander Trey Boozer well, he's got 2 hits. So Cozart's won the battle not once, but twice. He's got 2 of the 7 hits. And now, here he is, NC State's best chance to score so far in this game. First and second, nobody out. It was Cozart who drove in Pennington from second base back in the 3rd. He taps the outside part of the plate, then the inside part of the plate. He's ready to hit. Boozer's ready to pitch. Breaking ball hit on the ground and gloved by Nicholson at first. The throw back to first. Out! It's a double play on the first pitch of the AB. Coach Robinson wants a challenge at first. I thought it was bang, bang, and probably worth a challenge. Oh, no, I haven't seen the signal. I don't think NC State is going to challenge here. I am going to get a look at the replay. Certainly an out at second. Yeah, he was out at first as well. I got a real-time, real-speed look, but it was directly down that line. 3-6-3 double play. Man on third now, but looked like NC State was going to answer right back, but the double play and then the inevitable ground out to Petrie as Burks hits it pretty well into right. It's tailing, though. It'll get out. Catch made on the fly, which at a Savannah Bananas game counts as an out. Thankfully, I think in general, NC State would have taken it out there, right? But thankfully for Kentucky, I should say, not the rule here. Burks, another foul ball right side, 0-2. Speaking of the Savannah Bananas, did you know NC State alum Parker Nolan, not playing for the Bananas, but playing for the Firemen, one of their other teams in their kind of league, right? They had the Party Animals, who are kind of like their Washington Generals, if you will. Burks takes it in the left-handed batter's box for ball 1. Hi, Phil, just throwing him a fastball out there, see if he would chase. He did not. The right-hander delivers. Just got a piece of the slider breaking away from him. That's that pitch down and away. If you swing at it, you probably won't hit it. And Burks really fortunate just to hit it off the back cap. And I told you earlier, He was named Mr. Wildcat. Just for his positivity and enthusiasm, the way he handles the pitching staff. Another fly ball to right. This one might be playable for Souls. Towards the line, it reaches the seats again. Just kind of fading off the bat of the right-hander. If you're like me, it's like when you play golf, what your driver looks like. No, back when I played regularly, I could hit a draw, for the record. But unfortunately, I don't play anymore. If I went out there and hit, it'd be a lot of that. A lot of slices right. Burks goes down swinging. Well, he wouldn't chase the outside fastball, but he did expand the zone a little bit. Going top shelf there. It's 6 strikeouts now for Sam Highfill. And the second out of the 5th inning. You're just tuning in. Kentucky leads 3-1. NC State has not led in this game yet. Looking to change that in the next frame. Sosa, Nixon, and Hefner, the 3 due up. Nobody on for Nick Lopez, lashing at the first pitch, and he pops it foul left side. Lopez on his 4th school. Started at Illinois Chicago. That was back in 2020. Went to junior college, Santa Ana Junior College. That's where he's from, Santa Ana, California. Lopez hits it hard on one hop, gloved by Hefner at second. Set his feet on the throw and records the out. And it's NC State's turn to end an inning with a 4-3. 1-2-3 for Highfill in the 5th. Nice to get his team back in the dugout. Again, they're seeing Poozer pretty well. Out hitting Kentucky 7-5. Looking for maybe some timely hits when we come back for the 6th. Down 3-1 from Learfield.
Hey, Wolfpack fans, Bojangles is ready for game day. Bojangles, proud sponsor of Wolfpack Baseball, is home of the tailgate meal. 8 pieces of seasoned Cajun fried chicken, 2 picnic-sized fixins, 4 made from scratch buttermilk biscuits, and a half a gallon of Bojangles iced tea. Whether it's before or after the game, baseball and Bojangles, a Wolfpack tradition.
Thousands of our teammates make and deliver 300 of Coca-Cola's brands and flavors locally. From the heartland to the coast, in big cities and small towns, our products are moving and our trucks are rolling. We share a purpose, and we love to refresh and serve our communities. We are Coca-Cola Consolidated, your local bottler.
One Pack NIL Collective is a proud sponsor of NC State Athletics and NC State Baseball. One Pack NIL Collective is online at onepacknil.com with merchandise and information for student athletes. Kentucky 3, NC State 1. Sam Highfill threw 5 innings, scattered 5 hits, 3 earned runs. 2 of them came on 1 swing. On a day in which we didn't think anybody would hit a home run, Kentucky center fielder Nolan McCarthy was able to do so. That's the difference in this game so far. Again, a lot of baseball left. Alex Sosa begins the 6th. Here he is. Strike 1 at 93 out of the right hand of Trey Poozer. Imperative that NC State makes him work here in this inning as he gets a swing and a miss on a breaking ball. Quickly 0-2 against Sosa. just when NC State was threatening in the fifth, first and second, nobody out. 2 pitches later, Poozer was sitting in the dugout, resting. Sosa stays alive on 0-2 and shoots a line drive foul on the third base side. Alex Sosa, his family making it in here to Omaha. Another foul ball. He grew up until he was about 13 in the Miami area before moving a little bit north. Everything's north of Miami in Florida, right? Vieira, Florida, where he went to Vieira High School. Foul tip into the glove of Burks. And so Poozer just continued to fill up the zone there and eventually got Sosa on strikes. Would you believe? Remember, Poozer's coming off 7-inning shutout, just 1 hit allowed against Oregon State. He struck out 8 batters in that game. That is the first strikeout by an NC State hitter. They put the ball in play. Even that one was off the bat. It was a foul tip. As the breaking ball does not get over to Luke Nixon. Luke's been hit by a pitch and flown out to left field. See if he can get aboard again. Daly at third on the infield grass as Nixon takes a fastball that ran on the inside seam. Talking about family members there, and yeah, everybody's family, right? Coming to watch him play here at Omaha. His dad Trot is here as Luke offered on that pitch. Not a strike. It was down low. He tried to check it, but he went around. It's 1-2. Of course, the Nixon family, they got to be doubly proud. Luke pops it up. Foul ground towards the Kentucky dugout. Burks calls for it and makes the catch before reaching out and finding the railing. Well, usually it would be the third baseman, Daly, who would make that play, but he was going for it, and Burks called him off. And again, he's the vocal leader of this team. And so Daly listened to him, and he made the play for out number 2. But yeah, with both Chase and Luke here on a College World Series team, that's really cool for the Nixon family. Well, 2 up, 2 down. Hebner's 1 for 2 today. First pitch swinging, guess where? Right to Petrie. Another 4-3. The second, the third, the fourth, the fifth, and now the 6th innings for NC State, all ending in a 4-3 ground out. Kentucky, they say they like to get weird. That is certainly a weird stat. In this game. We'll go to the bottom of the 6th. NC State still trailing Kentucky 3-1. You're listening to Pac-9 Baseball from Learfield.
Amedio's has been serving homemade Italian food in the Triangle since 1963. At Amedio's, they use authentic family recipes and ingredients to make classics such as lasagna or oven-baked pizza. Amedio's has an NC State atmosphere with autographs and memorabilia covering their walls. Amedio's Family Restaurant is a proud supporter of NC State baseball. And NC State tradition since the year 2000, Sammy's Tap and Grill offers food, atmosphere, and a selection of beers for all NC State sports fans. Sammy's has spaces available for parties, both large and small. Sammy's Tap and Grill is located between NC State University's main and Centennial campus on Avon Ferry Road in the Mission Valley Shopping Center.
NC State trails Kentucky 3-1 in the bottom of the 6th. Zach Burhan's back inside the Learfield Network studios to get you caught up on what's happened in the College World Series. North Carolina gets by Virginia 3-2 as Vance Honeycutt hit a walk-off single to win it for the Tar Heels. And Florida State falls against top-ranked Tennessee 12-11. The Volunteers scored 4 runs in that 9th inning, and Tennessee's Christian Moore hit for the cycle, which was the first of its kind in the Men's College World Series since Jerry Kendall did it with Minnesota in 1956. Coming up at 7 o'clock, it's Florida and Texas A&M again at 7 o'clock. As we head back to the ballpark, here's Andrew Sanders.
Thank you, Zach. 3-1. Kentucky leads bottom of the sixth. Mitchell Daly, the third baseman, will lead off. 1 for 2 today. He takes a bunt away and looks at a strike. Again, Daly, who's listed as being from Madison, Alabama, 3 years at Texas. Twice he made it here to Omaha. His third trip in 4 years. He's with Kentucky their first time ever. Out for the sixth as Daly sprays it foul on the right side. And he's listed as being from Madison, Alabama, but he moved 8 times as a kid growing up. And if you're thinking, well, maybe he's from a military family. Yes, indeed. His dad, Edward, is a 4-star general. The 0-2. Up and out for ball 1. NC State baseball had the opportunity to meet a general yesterday, and a proud NC State graduate, General Cotton, at Offutt Air Force Base here in Omaha. Quick pitching Daly, who gets just a piece. Staying alive 1 and 2. Yeah, the Air Force was kind enough to host us yesterday for lunch. Just an incredible experience. Got a chance to see a spy plane used for reconnaissance. The 55th wing stationed at Offutt Air Force Base. Daly takes it at the letters. Ball 2. They have a pretty cool saying. Say the sun never sets on the fighting 55th, because all around the world they have got those reconnaissance planes, and they took us inside one of them. The 2-2 to Daly, grounded foul on the pull side. Again, NC State trailing 3-1 here in the bottom of the sixth. Sam Heifels' next pitch will be his 100th. There's nobody actively throwing in the NC State bullpen currently. Another 2-2 to Daly. Hit in the air. Right side. Hebner running under it. Now Pennington in foul ground makes the catch. Again, those swirling winds. But Heifel puts out Mitchell Daly. So getting to meet General Cotton, really an honor and a privilege. He is the commander of the United States Strategic Command. And also, really cool, he's a proud NC State graduate. Graduated in 1986, and as he told us, he spent his freshman year at Metcalf and the Tri-Towers, which is where I lived my freshman year. Ball 1 to the first baseman, Ryan Nicholson. So the entire team was just blown away by the experience. As Heifel delivers, and a ripped single past the diving glove of Hebner. Nicholson is aboard. General Cotton was not the only NC State graduate we had the privilege of meeting. When we went into that reconnaissance plane, got a chance to meet Kirby Hagler, who is an NC State graduate in 2017 as a navigator on that plane, and he was nice enough to kind of show me what all the dials do and what he does, and explaining to me how they can refuel in midair and take on 90,000 pounds of fuel. Ball 1 to Nolan McCarthy. Last time he was up, he homered. That's the difference in this game, and it came after a Nicholson single. So you hear the Pack fans getting the Wolfpack chant going. Heifel's got to be careful here with McCarthy. Fouls that off of the mask, I think, of Kozar. He seems to be fine. Ball and a strike. So with the opening ceremonies I was telling you about earlier, or the trip to off at Air Force Base yesterday, really a cool experience. There's strike two. One on, one out. Highfield from the stretch. Line drive fouling out of play. Also, special thank you to Colonel Dan Rodriguez at the Air Force Base, because I was kind of on a mission. We got a chance to see a hangar and the plane, and we had lunch out there in the hangar, but I also wanted to check on a relative. My great uncle, Earl Peck, who was once off at Air Force Base. Ground ball, could be two. It's to Hefner. Flips to Butters for one, and they turn it 4-6-3. Inning over. Well, that will erase the one-out single. Highfill through 6. It'll be Souls, Serrano, and Pennington coming up when we come back. Back looking for some runs. Headed to the 7th from Learfield.
Hey, Pack fans, did you know over the past decade, Rebels Turf and Tractor and John Deere have provided turf equipment to maintain the sports fields at NC State? They're pleased to feature new and pre-owned golf and sports turf maintenance equipment. Rebels Turf and Tractor has a location in Myrtle Beach and their home base in Fuquay Arena or RebelsTractor.com. You're now able to provide the same field conditions that the Pack plays on each week with the help of Rebels Turf and Tractor. Rebels Turf and Tractor is proud to support Wolfpack Athletics.
This season, the peanut farmers of North Carolina are proud to support the Pac-9 and remind you that peanuts are high in protein and contain zero cholesterol. Peanuts are a snack for on the go, at home, or while you're cheering on the Pack at Doak Field. North Carolina peanut farmers are a proud sponsor of NC State baseball.
The 7th inning peanut fact of the game is brought to you by the peanut growers of North Carolina. Did you know that peanuts were grown in over 1/3 of North Carolina's counties and on more than 120,000 acres in North Carolina last year? Start snacking today on nutritious and flavorful NC Peanuts, always a hit and proud supporter of Wolfpack Baseball. Visit aboutpeanuts.com to learn more. Noah Souls looking to start the fire in the 7th. Souls and Serrano and Pennington, the 3 to bat. Kentucky with a 2-run advantage, although NC State out hitting the Wildcats. Just the 1 run to show so far. But remember, Souls, the leadoff hitter to begin the year. He'll lead off this frame. Line drive over Petrie's head at second and into right field. He leads off the inning on the first pitch with a single. Second hit of the game for Noah Souls. All aboard the Soul Train is his nickname on the team. Again, Boozer got through 7 innings in his last start. He's out here in the 7th, but this is now the 4th time through the order for the top of the order. Eli Serrano, a walk, 2 groundouts today on his resume. And Boozer rips in a 92-mile-an-hour fastball for a strike. Next pitch will be his 85th, so he certainly could go deeper in this game in terms of pitch count. NC State would like to get him out of this game here. There is a righty throwing in the bullpen. Serrano takes it low, below the knees of his 6'5" frame. Boozer in 3 postseason starts, 3-0 with an 0.47 ERA. Serrano an inside-out swing, and it's strike 2, foul. Those 3 postseason starts, he had allowed just the 1 run 17 combined strikeouts in the 3 starts. That's the SEC tournament against Arkansas, the regional against Illinois, and then the Super against Oregon State. 1-2 to Serrano, and another foul ball. He stays alive. Boozer still rocking with that fastball. It's a Kentucky team that made a Super Regional last year. Then hit the transfer portal, brought back a good chunk of the team, but hit the portal and got guys like Boozer that have made the difference. Serrano, too tall even for him. Ball 2. That leadoff single by Souls, the 8th hit of the afternoon for the Pac-9. Again, goal number 1 in this inning, I think, is to get Boozer off the mound. If you do that, you probably accomplish goal number 2. Tie or take the lead. Serrano, another foul ball. He hits it up over the netting. Straight back. Last time we saw him. Homered twice in Athens. It's a homer-friendly ballpark, but he got all of both of them. He goes down swinging here. Just swung through another fastball. Just the second strikeout for Boozer. Part of what makes Kentucky so good, right? Their defense. When you only punch out a couple of times, you're putting the ball in play. But this Kentucky defense so far has made every play. 1 on, 1 out for Pennington. Of course, here in the 7th, right? He has the tying run at the plate. Ball down and away. And every time you come to bat, you get more and more information. You get a little more comfortable, Pennington has 2 hits. He's 2 for 3. A couple of singles. Playing within 3 hours of his hometown. Breaking ball gets over. And good slider. I asked him if his folks were coming out. He said, oh, yeah, this is basically a home game. This is a short drive. To the fastball, but downstairs. 2-1. Almost 2 hours into this game. First pitch came in at 1:09 locally. We're into the 7th. 1 on and 1 out. The Wichita State transfer Garrett Pennington ready in the box. Swing and a miss. Next pitch will be number 95 for the Kentucky right-hander. And here it is. Foul ball, right side. By the way, talking about getting into this Kentucky bullpen, look, you'd love to do it, but you'd like to do it by doing some damage against Boozer. That bullpen, by the way, has not allowed a run in the last 4 games. Pennington goes down swinging. Well, a leadoff single from Souls, and Boozer fans Serrano, then strikes out Pennington. Lights out bullpen. That's a big reason why Kentucky is here, right? It only takes, I say, 5 wins to get to Omaha. They went 5-0. Makarevich, ball 1. He's got a hit this afternoon in his last trip. That put first and second, nobody out for NC State in the 5th. Looked like they were going to answer back. Double play and then a ground out into the inning. 2 pitches later as Amack hits it foul straight behind home plate. And evidently a nice catch was made. Yeah, I look over to the first row and fan has the baseball pump in his fist. So, front row of the upper deck with a souvenir. 1-1 to Makarevich. Swing and a miss. Off speed. And he was not close to that one. He's not usually fooled badly. 99 pitches for Boozer. And Big Blue Nation, many of them rising to their feet before this next pitch. It's on the way. Makarevich with a deep drive to right field. It is out of here! He did it again! Late inning heroics from Alec Makarevich. We are tied at 3. He's an All-American for a reason. 107 miles an hour off the bat, 415 feet. And on a day where the wind is blowing in, it didn't matter on that swing. Cozart takes the ball at the letters. And now NC State fans getting loud. They had to turn people away looking for the NC State ticket a lot. As Cozart takes a strike. Each team, now you can obviously buy single game tickets or you can buy tickets, anywhere in the ballpark you want on the open market. But the team allotment, as Cozart takes ball 2, each team only gets, so many tickets. And NC State selling out its team allotment. Pack fans out in full force. 2-1 to the catcher, Cozart. In the dirt, ball 3. Remember, Boozer, that pitch that he threw to Makarevich that he thought, and Kentucky fans thought, might get him out of the inning. He had NC State down to their final strike here in the 7th. Makarevich homered on the 100th pitch. Hitters count now for Cozart. 3-1. Swing and a miss. He had struck out Serrano and Pennington, and it felt like he was going to keep that momentum going Kentucky's way, but NC State has tied it up again. Now a payoff to Cozart. He walked him. All right, you want to tie or take the lead, and you want to get Boozer off the mound. NC State might have just done both with the AMAC home run and then the Cozart walk. Again, they've had a right-hander up in the pen. He's certainly ready to come in if they want to make a change. Boozer has gone over 100 pitches 4 times coming in, so this is the 5th time this year. He's at 106, and yep, here comes a slow walk out to the mound, as we suspected. I think that's going to be it. Haven't seen a signal yet, but I think that's going to be it for the grad student from Hanahan, South Carolina, College of Charleston transfer. Coach Mingione, the SEC Coach of the Year, pats him on the chest. 2 outs in the 7th. A little 2-out magic. A lot of 2-out magic. An AMAC jack. And then Cozart extending the inning with a walk. And Kentucky is going to make a call to the bullpen. And for those of you listening in the 919, it's a local kid coming in to pitch. Cameron O'Brien, who hails from Wake Forest, went to Heritage High School. He will come in and pitch for Kentucky when we come back from this pitching change break. A leadoff single from Souls, strikeout, and then Makarevich with a 2-run homer to tie this game at 3 apiece. Cozart is on first now for Butterworth as Boozer exits this ball game and gets a well-deserved hand from this Kentucky fan base. He pitched very well today, but wasn't able to equal his 7 innings from the Super. Again, held Oregon State to 1 hit and no runs through 7 innings. NC State tags him for 3 runs and 9 hits through 6 2/3. And he's responsible for the man at first. That's Jacob Cozart. Butterworth is going to face the fireman, as they call him. Cameron O'Brien in to pitch. We'll be back in a moment from Learfield.
Thousands of our teammates make and deliver 300 of Coca-Cola's brands and flavors locally. From the heartland to the coast, in big cities and small towns, our products are moving and our trucks are rolling. We share a purpose, and we love to refresh and serve our communities. We are Coca-Cola Consolidated, your local bottler.
Together, that's how we stay in the game, ready to play. As one team, UNC Health is keeping you well with renewed focus and approach to care services for you and your family. UNC Health, official healthcare provider of NC State Athletics. Learn more at unchealth.org/sports. Again, that's unchealth.org/sports.
The biggest thing that gives us is just the confidence, especially as an offense. I think 1 through 9, too, everyone can do damage, especially when there's 2 outs. I feel like we're so confident even with 2 outs in the inning, it's not over.
That was Alec Makarevich during the press conference before the start of this College World Series. Now, how accurate was that, right? They just have confidence 1 through 9 and feel like it's never over. Even with 2 outs, it's never over. A 2-out rally, that's the story here in the 7th inning. Amac with a 2-run blast to right field to tie us at 3 apiece. And now it's right-hander Cameron O'Brien in to pitch for Kentucky. Their most called upon reliever to face Butterworth with Cozart on first and 2 out. The young man from Wake Forest, first pitch swinging is Butterworth. This might reach the seats. It looks like it will behind the NC State dugout. So 6 2/3 for Poozer, 9 hits, 3 runs, all earned, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts. He threw 106 pitches. Now for Cameron O'Brien, 6'5" right-hander. 4 years at Campbell. I went through all the box scores. He did not pitch against NC State in his time at Campbell. From Heritage High School. 0-1 to Butterworth. Ooh, called strike 2. Well located, 91 mile-an-hour fastball. This is his 34th appearance of the year. That is the most by any reliever in the Coach Mingione era. And again, this is his 8th season with Kentucky. So they trust him more than anybody. Here he is in the 7th. He gets ahead 0-2 quickly at Butterworth. Breaking ball outside. Ooh, Burks held that for 1-2-3 Mississippi. I mean, he held that pitch for a long time. He wanted that to be the final pitch. It was close enough. They're going to show a replay. Yeah, it was off the plate. Not by much. With Cozart on first, the 1-2 to Butterworth. That's called strike 3. Looked like the exact same pitch in the same spot. Butterworth strikes out looking, and it's time to stretch here in Omaha. Huge swing by Alec Makarevich, tied at 3 at the stretch. You're listening to Wolfpack Baseball from Learfield.
Hey, Wolfpack fans, Bojangles is ready for game day. Bojangles, proud sponsor of Wolfpack Baseball, is home of the tailgate meal. 8 pieces of seasoned Cajun fried chicken, 2 picnic-sized fixins, 4 made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuits, and a half a gallon of Bojangles iced tea. Whether it's before or after the game, baseball and Bojangles, a Wolfpack tradition.
Together, that's how we stay in the game, ready to play. As one team, UNC Health is keeping you well with renewed focus and approach to care services for you and your family. UNC Health, official healthcare provider of NC State Athletics. Learn more at unchealth.org/sports. Again, that's unchealth.org/sports.
Here at the Chuck Charles Schwab Field in Omaha, the site of the 2024 Men's College World Series. Brand new ball game at the 7th inning stretch. NC State and Kentucky tied at 3. NC State got into the Kentucky bullpen, and you thought maybe Kentucky would be into the NC State bullpen starting the 7th, but not the case. Sam Highfill threw 6 strong. He's thrown 107 pitches. He is out for the bottom of the 7th. Now, the 3 batters that are due up, McCoy and Smith and Waldschmidt, are a combined 0-7. He has struck out McCoy twice, once looking, once swinging. McCoy is not legally in the batter's box. Okay. Yeah, home plate umpire Mike Morris thankfully making him get his feet in the batter's box. He is as on top of the plate as he can be. Here's the first pitch of the inning. Hit in the air, center field. Serrano camped out under it, makes the grab, 1 away. So 1 pitch, 1 out for Highfill. Jacob Duden is in the bullpen. He looks ready to rock for NC State, but I would imagine that this will either be Highfield's last batter here, or they might let him go until there's a Kentucky base runner, perhaps. But this is the 9-hole hitter, Grant Smith. The shortstop is 0 for 2. First pitch he sees is in there for a strike. Smith squared to bunt. Kentucky has tried to bunt a couple of times today. NC State's defense has been up to the task. Highfield delivers. Hit on a line towards left center field. Nixon makes a diving catch. It wasn't full extension. It is out number 2. That ball was squared up and I think probably knuckling a little bit. And so Luke Nixon had to kind of dive out in front for it. It was a little bit awkward. He is such a good athlete. He made the catch. Now, with 2 out and nobody on, do they go ahead and let Highfield try to finish out this frame? First batter, McCoy, routinely flew out to center. Smith just barreled that. Ryan Waldschmidt, the batter. Again, they have the ultimate trust in Sam Highfill. He is going to face Waldschmidt. He rocks and delivers high for ball 1. So I would imagine this would be his last batter either way. Either he'll get NC State to the 8th, tied, or with Petrie, the number 2 hitter on deck, the Duden would come in if there's a base runner. Strike from Highfield. 111 pitches last week in Georgia. He just went over that. Number 112 for a strike. Foul ball towards my window. Just shy of that. Strike 2. Wolfpack fans getting loud. Coach Avon says Sam Highfill embodies everything that this program is about. After a 2-run shot by Makarevich in the top of the 7th, Highfill a pitch away from getting NC State through 7 innings. Against the leadoff man, Waldschmidt. Pitch on the way. Hit in the air. Foul ground. It's Pennington. And it'll reach the seats. I don't know if it's just my vantage point. I found this back in 2020 when we played at US Bank Stadium, the home of the Minnesota Vikings. The higher up you are as a broadcaster on a ball hit to the right side, the harder it is to tell how much it's tailing. So it might be some of that. It also might be some of those swirling winds pushing it back. Pennington did not have a play on it, so Highfill will try again. Off the plate. Wolfpack fans wanted it. It was a ball away. Highfield delivers. Got him swinging. The mayor is fired up as he makes his way off the mound. 7 innings from Sam Highfield, dealing in Omaha. We will head to the 8th, tied at 3. Alex Sosa, Luke Nixon, and Matt Hefner looking to give NC State its first lead when we come back. Don't go anywhere. This is Pac-9 Baseball from Learfield.
Amedio's has been serving homemade Italian food in the Triangle since 1963. At Amedio's, they use authentic family recipes and ingredients to make classics such as lasagna or oven-baked pizza. Amedio's has an NC State atmosphere with autographs and memorabilia covering their walls. Amedio's Family Restaurant is a proud supporter of NC State baseball.
Hey, Pack fans, did you know over the past decade, Rebels Turf and Tractor and John Deere have provided turf equipment to maintain the sports fields at NC State? They're pleased to feature new and pre-owned golf and sports turf maintenance equipment. Rebels Turf and Tractor has a location in Myrtle Beach and their home base in Fuquay Arena or RebelsTractor.com. You're now able to provide the same field conditions that the Pack plays on each week with the help of Rebels Turf and Tractor. Rebels Turf and Tractor is proud to support Wolfpack Athletics.
Game in the 8th, tied at 3 apiece. During that commercial break, you missed a loud ovation. We had a really cool flyover today during the national anthem. Again, NC State got a chance to tour off at Air Force Base here in Omaha yesterday. And we had 2 fighter jets fly over during the national anthem. And in between the inning break, they just had the flight crew, the airmen and women on that flight crew were honored just to the left of home plate, got a loud ovation. Sam Highfield also got a loud ovation and a hug in the dugout from head coach Elliott Avon. Got to think his day is done. Think about what he has done here in Omaha. Omaha Highfield. 7 1/3 against Vanderbilt in the shutout win back in 2021. He has gone 7 innings, 6 hits, 3 runs, 2 walks, 7 strikeouts, 116 pitches. He went 1-2-3 in the 7th. Alex Sosa, the leadoff batter for the Pack in the 8th with momentum. Big breaking ball drops in for strike 1. Cam O'Brien gets a clean inning. He struck out Butterworth to end the 7th. And the grad student from Wake Forest, North Carolina gets a clean 8th. Sosa locked up by a fastball inside. Interesting story. I told you he went to Heritage High School. Well, he was recruited as a pitcher to Campbell, although he did not pitch at Heritage High School. He hadn't pitched since Little League. 1-1. Bouncing in for ball 2. But, so I was wondering, well, if he didn't pitch in high school, I wonder what position he played. But how about this? NC State videographer Tyler Roy was his high school teammate at Heritage High School. So I just asked T-Roy. He said he was a catcher in high school. Sosa pulls it hard on the ground, foul for strike 2. So got a little inside baseball, a little scouting report. And he's a tall guy for a catcher, 6'5". Redshirted at Campbell in 2020, 6 appearances in 21, 15 in 22. He was a part-time starter last year, made 8 starts for the Camels. 2-2 to the leadoff man, Sosa. And he stays alive as he got a piece of that big breaking ball. So he continually got better and better in his time at Campbell. Last year, again, in those 8 starts, a part-time starter, 37 in the third innings, ERA of just over 5.5. So good, but not dominant. He has been absolutely dominant for Kentucky, particularly in this postseason. Sosa sees ball 3. In the NCAA tournament so far this year, including the strikeout of Butterworth, 6 2/3 innings, no runs, 1 walk, 13 strikeouts for the right-hander, Cameron O'Brien. Sosa's in a full count here. Huge pitch to lead off the 8th. He walked him. It's high. Ball 4. Leadoff man on. If you're just turning your radio on, if you're just syncing us up on the Varsity Network app or the GoPack app, Kentucky was a strike away from getting to the 7th inning stretch with a 2-run lead. Alec Makarevich had other plans. A 2-run blast to right fields, tied it at 3, and then Highfill went out, starting the inning up over 100 pitches. He went 1-2-3, pitching with confidence to finish the 7th. Battle of the bullpens now. Luke Nixon is a good bunter, and with Sosa aboard, he might be bunting here. Infield in at the corners. He squares and drags it foul. That was not a true sacrifice from Nixon. What I mean by that, he wasn't really giving himself up. He was trying to drag that for a hit. It should be noted, that last inning, Noah Souls was lifted from the game. Andrew Schaffner is playing right field. And so he is in the 9-hole spot now. Bunt shown. Right back to the first base side. Underhand toss by O'Brien, and he records the outs. Boy, again, from this vantage point, I thought it was right back to the pitcher, but it actually got down the first base line a little better than I thought. Perfectly executed bunts by Luke Nixon. Sacrifice, 1-3. And now Sosa is in scoring position for Hefner. Again, Schaffner is in that 9-hole spot. So, a couple of things to think about here. First of all, Hefner swinging it well. He's 1 for 3. He's hit a couple line drives today. Time. Hold on, time is called. O'Brien might not face Hefner here. We're going to have a mound visit. NC State threatening here with 1 out in the top of the 8th. Is this just to talk about situation, or is this to make a move? Nobody actively throwing for Kentucky. There is a left-hander, I think, who's ready to go. And as Hefner anxiously awaits, they are going to stick with O'Brien. The organist plays here at the Chuck. It is a Hammond organ. They restored the original one from Rosenblatt. They played all pregame. It is awesome. The organist is wrapped up. We're ready for baseball again. Sosa in scoring position with 1 out. He's got his lead off a second. Hefner's ready in the right-handed batter's box. O'Brien to the plate. Ball 1. Hefner lays off it. Matt Hefner, great example of someone who just kept his confidence. Sophomore from Lincolnton. Started the year. Bouncing in, ball 2. Started the year in the starting lineup, right? They kind of fell out of the rotation. Part of that was due to a lower body injury, but back in the midweek at ECU, got back in the lineup, started to hit, stayed in the lineup. Always kept his head up, stayed positive. Now here he is in the College World Series. He puts it in the air, right center field. Under it is the right fielder, McCoy. He makes the catch. No chance for Sosa to tap. 2 gone in the inning. So again, I told you, Schaffner in the 9-hole. And he came in as a defensive replacement for Noah Solz. Of course, the two-way player, we saw him get the save, the first of his collegiate career in Athens in Game 1. But here he's going to come to bat, and he's in there, of course, for his defense. The two-way player from Elk Creek, Virginia. 1 hit in his college career. It came May 7th against Norfolk State. But it looks like Kentucky's going to maybe go to the bullpen and bring in a lefty. And now you could play some chess if you want to, if you're number 9, Elliott Avett. Of course, Schaffner came in there initially, and they do like his defense. But you do have Chase Nixon available also. A lot of moves that could be made here. Kentucky is going to make a call to the bullpen. Jackson Novi, their preferred left-hander, is going to come in to this ball game. So with the lefty Schaffner due up, Novi will emerge from that Kentucky bullpen past the left field fence. And we'll see. I see Chase Nixon with a helmet in his hands. And it looks like Chase Nixon will pinch hit for Schaffner here once Kentucky made the move. 3-3 our score. Pinch hitter Chase Nixon will bat, it would appear, with Sosa on second, 2 outs. Here in the top of the 8th. Huge spot on its way. We'll be back in 60 seconds. Back 9 baseball from Learfield.
Hey, Wolfpack fans, Bojangles is ready for game day. Bojangles, proud sponsor of Wolfpack Baseball, is home of the tailgate meal. 8 pieces of seasoned Cajun fried chicken, 2 picnic-sized fixins, 4 made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuits, and a half a gallon of Bojangles iced tea. Whether it's before or after the game, baseball and Bojangles, a Wolfpack tradition.
Hey, Pack fans, did you know over the past decade, Rebels Turf and Tractor and John Deere have provided turf equipment to maintain the sports fields at NC State? They're pleased to feature new and pre-owned golf and sports turf maintenance equipment. Rebels Turf and Tractor has a location in Myrtle Beach and their home base in Fuquay Arena or RebelsTractor.com. You're now able to provide the same field conditions that the Pack plays on each week with the help of Rebels Turf and Tractor. Rebels Turf and Tractor is proud to support Wolfpack Athletics.
27th appearance of the year for left-hander Jackson Novi, a 5.5 ERA, 41 strikeouts in 29 2/3 innings for the left-hander. NC State with a pinch hitter, Chase Nixon, will be called upon here. It was Noah Sol's spot, then Andrew Schaffner came in to play right field, and now with the go-ahead run on second base, that's Alex Sosa. Chase Nixon will get introduced. Of course, the older brother of Luke. They showed his dad Trot on TV. Mom and Dad are here, and Trot had on a Chase Nixon t-shirt. This is his first postseason appearance for NC State. Didn't play in the Super or in the region. Novi's first pitch. Ball 1 away from the left hand. Last time Chase Nixon got a chance to bat was in the Virginia Tech game in the ACC tournament. Last time he got a hit, he had 2 hits against Wake Forest in that series. Nixon, a foul ball. He has a great story, of course, right? Major league father, but coming out of New Hanover High School in Wilmington. He was a quarterback, but he was overlooked on the baseball side coming out of high school. He took a gap year. He went to Pro 5 Academy. He got an NC State offer, And now here he is in the College World Series. Bouncing ball, and Nixon takes it. Ball 2. You got to think, again, he has not had an at-bat in this NCAA tournament. Would he maybe be a little overeager to swing? No, he has such a mature approach at the plate. And while it has pretty much been Hefner in the platoon in the postseason, he works good at bats. Strike 2. 91 with a fastball out of the left hand of Novi. Chase batting .260 on the year, with 14 driven in. Can he drive in Sosa here from second and give NC State its first lead of this game? 2 outs, top of the 8th inning. Novi steps off.
Number 12, first reset.
They reset the pitch clock. The left-hander Novi back on the rubber. He sets at the belt, looking to second. It's Sosa. Now he comes home. Ball! 3-2. You hear the reaction from the Kentucky fans. That's because he hit the spot of the catcher, Devin Burks. Pinch hit. 8th inning. Potential winning run would be the go-ahead run on second. Spin and a throw back to second. It was caught by Smith, the shortstop. A late spin. We have another pitch com issue for the catcher, Burks. This is the 4th time this has happened. At a certain point, how many times can you change the pitch com wristband before it becomes like a balk or something? Coach Avon is out to talk to second base umpire David Ewell. He thought that spin and then the throw was way late. And I obviously can't hear that conversation, but I would imagine that time was already called because of that pitch com issue. We're ready for baseball again. Biggest pitch of the game coming here. The payoff. Fouled off by Chase Nixon. A leader on this team, one of the most positive players on this team. He told me, again, he was overlooked in high school. He's just so happy to be able to play at this level. Again, the 3-2. Ball 4. Chase Nixon draws a 2-out pinch hit walk. And now Novi has to deal with the top of the order and Eli Serrano. Can you imagine getting called upon to pinch hit in that situation? But again, no shock, no surprise that Nixon was able to find his way aboard. 2 on, 2 out for Serrano. All 1 to him. Led off the game with a walk. 0 for 3 since. Some would say he's due. I would say. Serrano caught at second base on a line by Petrie. Oh, he drilled it right at the second baseman. Wow. Barreled it up, and there was Petrie, as he has been seemingly all day today. NC State threatens, but leaves a pair on base. Sam Highfill, after 7 innings, will give way to the bullpen. Bottom of the 8th, on its way in a tie game, 3-3 from Learfield.
Together, that's how we stay in the game, ready to play. As one team, UNC Health is keeping you well with renewed focus and approach to care services for you and your family. UNC Health, official healthcare provider of NC State Athletics. Learn more at unchealth.org/sports. Again, that's unchealth.org/sports.
Pack fans, Bojangles is ready for game day. Bojangles, proud sponsor of Wolfpack Baseball, is home of the tailgate meal. 8 pieces of seasoned Cajun fried chicken, 2 picnic-sized fixins, 4 made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuits, and a half a gallon of Bojangles iced tea. Whether it's before or after the game, baseball and Bojangles, a Wolfpack tradition.
NC State and Kentucky are knotted up at 3 apiece in the bottom of the 8th inning. Zach Burhan's back inside the Learfield Network studios. Kit, you caught up on what happened yesterday. North Carolina walks it off against Virginia 3-2 as Vance Honeycutt hit the walk-off single to win it for the Tar Heels. And Florida State falls against top-ranked Tennessee 12-11 in another walk-off fashion. Christian Moore also hit for the cycle, which was the first of its kind in the Men's College World Series since Jerry Kendall did so with Minnesota in 1956. Coming up at 7 o'clock tonight, it's another one between Florida and Texas A&M. As we head back to the ballpark, here's Andrew Sanders.
Thank you, Zach. Couple of changes for NC State before we begin the bottom of the 8th. Tied at 3 apiece. Chase Nixon, who drew a pinch hit walk to extend the inning. He just straight replaces Schaffner. Oh, no, actually, they put it wrong in the stat broadcast, using my own eyes out there. Chase is in left now. And younger brother Luke is in right. Hebner at second base. Also a change on the mound. Jacob Duden faces the second baseman Petrie to start the 8th. He pops them in at Cozart, but misses his spot. Ball 1. 95 out of the right hand of Duden. Last time we saw him, he was facing Charlie Condon with the bases loaded, 1 out. Low, ball 2. Petrie has been as patient as it gets, so Duden is going to have to throw him a strike. Typically, against Condon, it was 4 straight sliders, but that's back-to-back fastballs, 95 and 97. He didn't land either. The 2-0, that's the slider, but missed as well. Freshman pitching in the College World Series. Freshman from Huntersville, North Carolina. Throw Petrie a strike here. He does not. A 4-pitch walk starts the 8th. And Petrie has stolen 25 bases. 25 for 34. Now you talk about managing the run game, as Kentucky's going to call a conference here. Talk about managing the run game. It's something that even veteran pitchers in college struggle with. But for freshmen, that is asking a lot, especially for a freshman reliever. But now, that leadoff walk, if Duden isn't careful, can turn into a double. We have not seen Kentucky try to steal off of Cozart at all today for a team that, again, has swiped 118 bases on the year. 2 up in the 9th for NC State. Pennington and Makarevich and Cozart, right? So you got the meat of the order 2 up. But Duden gets a clean inning trying to put up a 0. He's got to go up against the meat of the order. Now, Devin Burks has struck out twice today. He's also successfully sacrificed himself. Amac is in on the infield grass after the Kentucky conference is over. Petrie moving, first pitch. And he's got it stolen without a throw as Cozart did not make a clean exchange from catcher's mitt to right hand. And you heard from umpire Mike Morris, ball 1. 26th steal of the year, and that's where that walk is so huge, letting Petrie aboard. And now Burks can try to bunt him over to get him to third. He squares. He popped it up. Foul territory. Cozart makes the catch. He and Pennington were converging, and I thought they might collide. Pennington went sliding feet first, but Cozart kept his feet, and he got the baseball. A huge first out. here comes the All-SEC first-team member, Nick Lopez, 1 for 3 with an RBI today. Tie game, 3 apiece. Go-ahead run on second now, Petrie, as Lopez takes the strike. That's the 88-mile-an-hour slider from Duden. He was the winning pitcher in Game 3, an inning and 2/3. He was able to get out of the jam with the bags full and Condon to the plate in a jam here. Spin and a soft toss to second. And a balk is called. Nobody in the NC State infield can believe it. Third base umpire Scott Klein said that Duden began his windup and started coming home and then spun and threw back to second. Coach Avon is out to argue, but the call is a balk. And I have bad news for you, Wolfpack fans. If you're wondering, he challenged. A balk is one of the things that is non-reviewable. Now, what Coach Avon can do is he could ask the umpires to get together maybe and talk about it. But again, this is not reviewable. You cannot challenge this. So they pop up the bunt. But that balk works just like a bunt, doesn't it? Without giving up the out. It gets the runner to third with less than 2 away. Again, it is non-reviewable. I'll get a chance to look at a replay, though. I don't know. That was the call. Coach Chrysler now out to the mounds. NC State with the right-hander in the bullpen, looks like Derek Smith. He got a career-high 9 outs against Georgia. There's 1 out in the 8th here, so Smith, who has typically been a 2-inning guy, certainly you could see him come in here, but they're going to stick with Duden. Told you Coach Moore was here. As he likes to say, I got to dance with the one that brung me. And of course, it's both Duden and Smith, right? But this game that is tied right now, if Duden can keep it tied, you never know how many innings will play. And so they don't want Duden to have a short stint. 7 pitches. But now, after the balk, a walk, a stolen base, and a balk. And that's what Kentucky does, right? Infield is in for Lopez. The 0-1 pitch to him is popped up, foul. Strike 2. That's what they've got on the board. Yes, it is 0-2. There was such, because of the conversation after the balk, just have to make sure the count is ultra important, right? Lopez, the top hitter for the Wildcats, in an 0-2 hole. With the infield in and a man at third, 1 out. Duden put him away with the slider. 2 out in the 8th. Well, he struck out Condon last week and struck out Lopez with a nasty slider. Now Mitchell Daly, the third baseman. First pitch swinging, foul ball off the end of the bat. I told you last time I was in here in Omaha, I just happened to be sitting next to Mitchell Daly. We talked the whole game watching Kumar Rocker pitch. Tied here in the 8th with a man on third. Inside and maybe up as well on Daly. Ball 1. Great guy, kind of player you root for, but not in this situation. Duden. Foul ball. Off to the right side, it's strike 2. And now the Wolfpack fans going to really get behind Jacob Duden. Trying to work around that leadoff walk. And the balk that moved Petrie to third. He struck out Lopez. Trying to get Daly here. Popped him up in the infield. Pennington under it. He's got it. Jacob Duden strands a runner on third. And we will head to the ninth. Still tied at 3. No runs on no hits. 1 left on base. Pennington will lead off the ninth, followed by Makarevich and Kozar. NC State looking for its first lead of the day. We'll be back in a moment from Learfield.
An NC State tradition since the year 2000, Sammy's Tap and Grill offers food, atmosphere, and a selection of beers for all NC State sports fans. Sammy's has spaces available for parties, both large and small. Sammy's Tap and Grill is located between NC State University's main and Centennial campus on Avon Ferry Road in the Mission Valley Shopping Center.
Thousands of our teammates make and deliver 300 of Coca-Cola's brands and flavors locally. From the heartland to the coast, in big cities and small towns, our products are moving and our trucks are rolling. We share a purpose, and we love to refresh and serve our communities. We are Coca-Cola Consolidated, your local bottler.
Jacob Duden gets out of trouble in the 8th to keep us tied. It's the top of the 9th inning. NC State has out-hit Kentucky pretty much this whole game, out-hit the Wildcats 9-2. The visiting team, the Wolfpack. Remember, the visiting team won all 3 games in the Athens regional, so you hope that might be a good sign for NC State. Haven't led all game. Looking to take the lead here in this 9th frame. Robert Hogan is the new pitcher for Kentucky. One of their regular bullpen arms, as you would expect in this spot, right? Tie game, 9th inning. Junior right-hander in the postseason, 5 2/3, just 2 hits allowed and no runs. In 5 2/3, he struck out 7. He got the save in their opener against Western Michigan. Spent the last couple years at Texas A&M. He's also here in Omaha. Garrett Pennington, the leadoff man in the 9th. Ball 1. Hogan has a sinker in the low 90s, but he started with the mid-80s slider there. That slider had a 39% whiff rate last year. Pennington takes another slider. Down and away, ball 2. Kentucky using up some of its bullpen arms. Again, they have a very solid bullpen. Bullpen hadn't allowed a run in the last 4 games. Ball! Pennington taking ball 3. That was the sinker. Big moment here. Hogan hasn't thrown him a strike yet. Do you give him the green light? 3-0, he walked him. Not a pitch to hit. Led the catcher's mitt into the dirt. And NC State with a leadoff base runner in the 9th. Here comes Alec Makarevich. Last time he batted, completely changed this ballgame. Absolutely tattooed a home run to right field. For the left side against Hogan. Breaking ball above the bells. It's been 5 pitches. Again, he was at Texas A&M, right? The chant would be ball 6, ball 6. 382 the average for AMAC, 2 hits today. And a team best 23 home runs. And here comes not a slow walk out to the mound. A quick walk out to the mound. This is head coach Nick Mingione. Or pardon me, no it's not. This is the pitching coach, Dan Roselle. As the organ music plays, Pennington in a conversation with Bo Rob. First base coach, Bo Robinson. Makarevich just waiting patiently, soaking in the Let's Go Wolfpack cheers, echoing out here at Charles Schwab Field. Think about what an addition Makarevich has been for NC State. It was the homer in the 8th in Athens that gave NC State a more comfortable cushion. Meeting is over. Amac with a 7th inning home run here. What can he do with nobody out in the 9th? Pennington on first. Hits it in the air to right on a line, but it's directly at McCoy. One away. Boy, NC State got a line drive from Serrano to end the 8th. I mean, they are hitting the ball hard against, the ace for Kentucky, against now 3 bullpen arms, O'Brien, Novi, and now Hogan. Jacob Kozart, 2 hits and a walk on his resume today. He's first pitch swinging and way out in front. He was hunting that sinker, didn't get it. Third base side of the rubber, Hogan delivers, and that is downstairs for a ball. Now, Kozart, everything he's hit has been hard today. 2 hits, including the RBI. He also grounded into the double play in the 5th, walked in the 7th to get Poozer off the mound. Sees that in all the way. He was fooled by that breaking ball earlier. Again, I think he was just guessing first pitch fastball. At that time, he really watched that slider deep and took it for ball 2. Kozart takes it in the dirt. Blocked up by the catcher, Burks. Pennington staying at first. 3-1 to Kozart. Hasn't landed that slider. Does Kozart get the sinker here? Fastball count. The 3-1. Swung on and missed. He went off speed. And the count's full. Pitch on the way. There goes Pennington. And it's a hit and run to perfection. It's down the right field line. Pennington will stop at third. They are on the corners with 1 out in the 9th as Kozart delivers in crunch time. It's his 3rd hit of the game. I have been told by many analysts that I've worked with over the years that know a lot more about baseball than I do. If they'll throw it 3-1, they'll throw it 3-2. Well, Kozart was out in front of the slider on 3-1, but he was on time for a 3-2 slider. McCoy cut it off. We're going to have a pitching change here. McCoy cut it off in right field to prevent Pennington from scoring. But now on the corners with 1 out, and Butterworth here, you can do a lot of things, right? Do you try to squeeze? Do you trust Butterworth to get the sac fly, or, take a base hit too? Ten hits on the afternoon for NC State. 3 of them belong to the catcher, Jacob Kozart. And now, a golden opportunity to take the first lead of this game. Kentucky will make a pitching change. You'll stick with us, won't you? First and third, 1 out. Top of the ninth, Butterworth to bat. We'll tell you about the new pitcher when we return from Learfield.
This season, the peanut farmers of North Carolina are proud to support the Pac-9 and remind you that peanuts are high in protein and contain zero cholesterol. Peanuts are a snack for on the go, at home, or while you're cheering on the Pack at Doak Field. North Carolina peanut farmers are a proud sponsor of NC State baseball.
Thousands of our teammates make and deliver 300 of Coca-Cola's brands and flavors locally. From the heartland to the coast, in big cities and small towns, our products are moving and our trucks are rolling. We share a purpose, and we love to refresh and serve our communities. We are Coca-Cola Consolidated, your local bottler.
Kentucky makes another call to the bullpen, and the fifth pitcher used by the Wildcats in today's game is Johnny Hummel, or his teammates call him Lightning. The sixth-year pitcher from Charlotte. He is from the state of North Carolina. Spent 5 years at Erskine College down in South Carolina, just south of Greenville in due west, South Carolina. Redshirted in 2019, obviously a shortened 2020 season. He just got better and better and better when he was at Erskine. 16 saves in his last 2 years, and now in his sixth season, he's taken a redshirt year and a COVID year. The right-hander is the closer for the number 2 team in the country. He inherits runners on first and third, 1 out here in the ninth. Brandon Butterworth, the shortstop, is the batter for NC State. Hummel, a 3.49 ERA, team-high 7 saves. This is not a safe situation, of course, in a tie game. He's trying to get a vital out, number 2. Butterworth trying to knock in Pennington from third. First pitch. It gets through the catcher. Pennington will score standing up. NC State leads for the first time today with 1 out in the ninth. Butterworth took a bunt away, and Burks didn't catch it. It bounced in front of the catcher. The wild pitch scores the go-ahead run. Cozart to second. So now Butterworth with a different type of RBI opportunity. You hear Wolfpack Nation. So many have made the trip out here to Omaha. NC State with a 4-3 lead. Butterworth takes it above the belt, 2-0. Again, Kentucky has led since the bottom of the first inning. They have either led or been tied. Had not trailed until now. Butterworth trying to add to the lead. The 2-0, well located. Fastball. Hummel officially got the save in the game that sent them to Omaha. Only took him 3 pitches. He got the final out via strikeout. 2-1 to Butterworth. Hit in the air, left center field. It is going to be run down in the gap by Waldschmidt. Cozart has to retrace his steps. He'll get back to second. It wasn't a high hit fly ball. It feels like, again, the wind, if you've been listening to this whole game, I mean, the wind has continually been in. And it feels like just anything hit in the air, the wind really makes it hang up there. allows outfielders to run underneath it. Off the bat, I thought Butterworth hit it well. Up to Alex Sosa now. 0 for 3 with a walk. Looking for his first hit. Defense straight up against him. Takes the breaking ball down. 1-0. Now the Kentucky fans getting loud. NC State with 2 runs in the 7th, 1 in the 9th to take a 1-run lead. Sosa, ball 2. He had 1 hit in the Athens Regional going into Game 3. Had 3 hits, including that bomb of a home run down the right field line in the 7th. Ball 3-0 on the young designated hitter. Luke Nixon waiting in the on-deck circle. 2 outs in the 9th. Cozart's on second. NC State looking for an insurance run. Hummel finds the strike zone here. Sosa did not flinch at it. Was not thinking about swinging 3-0. Hitters count here. Sosa out in front. If he'll throw it 3-1, he'll throw it 3-2. Just saw Cozart able to single in a 3-2 count that put runners on the corners. There's the 3-2, and Sosa takes it, ball 4. It was the same pitch. So he walks for the second time today. 2 on now for Luke Nixon. Now keep in mind, again, NC State leads. The only question is by how much? What will the lead be? Will it be 1 run or can it be more if Luke Nixon can come up clutch here? Duden is in the game. Derek Smith, I think, is ready to go if necessary. Nixon hitless today, 0 for 2. Ball. A lot of breaking balls from Hummel. 1-0 to Nixon. He's been hit by a pitch. He's also successfully sacrificed. Duden is still in that dugout. Ball. As Nixon takes ball 2. He's throwing a heavy ball in that dugout. So that tells me that he's staying ready. He's staying loose. If I had to guess right now, I think it would be his 9th inning to start. With Smith available if he gets in trouble. 2 on, 2 out. It's a 2-0 count to Nixon, and stepping off the rubber is Hummel. Wouldn't mind getting a balk call here like we just had in the last inning. Not the case. 2-0. Fouls. Straight off the catcher's chest protector. 2-1. NC State taking the lead on a wild pitch. Looking for a clutch 2-out hit from freshman Luke Nixon. Pitch on the way. Popped him up. Foul grounds. It's the catcher, Burks. They dropped it. Nicholson came flying in foul ground. And Burks couldn't hold on. It's strike 2 on Nixon. But Kentucky, about as sure-handed of a defensive team as you can have. A wild pitch to surrender the go-ahead run, and they should be out of the inning. But Nicholson, kind of like a defensive back, came running in and broke up that catch. New life for Luke Nixon. The 2-2. Hit on the ground, a knuckler foul. Oh, it started off in fair territory, but it took a hard left turn and went foul past the third base bat. Kentucky giving NC State an extra opportunity, opening the door for more insurance. Another 2-2. Nixon in the air to center field, straight away to McCarthy. He's under it. He's got it, and the inning is over. NC State will head to the bottom of the ninth with a 1-run lead here in the opening game of the 2024 Men's College World Series. It'll be Jacob Duden to pitch when we come back, looking for 3 outs. You're listening to Wolfpack Baseball from Learfield.
This season, the peanut farmers of North Carolina are proud to support the Pac-9 and remind you that peanuts are high in protein and contain 0 cholesterol. Peanuts are a snack for on the go, at home, or while you're cheering on the Pack at Doak Field. North Carolina peanut farmers are a proud sponsor of NC State baseball.
Amedio's has been serving homemade Italian food in the Triangle since 1963. At Amedio's, they use authentic family recipes and ingredients to make classics such as lasagna or oven-baked pizza. Amedio's has an NC State atmosphere with autographs and memorabilia covering their walls. Amedio's Family Restaurant is a proud supporter of NC State baseball.
We have reached the bottom of the ninth, and not without plenty of drama. NC State trailed 3-1 in the bottom of the fourth. That was the score until 2 strikes, 2 outs in the top of the seventh when Alec Makarevich homered his 23rd, team-leading 23rd home run of the year to tie it at 3. NC State finally pulling ahead with a run in the ninth. Garrett Pennington crossing home on a wild pitch to give the Pack a 1-run edge. Jacob Duden got out of a jam in the 8th, stranded a runner on third. They had him on third with 1 out. He went strikeout, pop out to end it. He gets a clean 9th inning here. Nicholson, McCarthy, and McCoy. 6, 7, 8 for Kentucky. Nicholson, the first baseman, looks at strike 1 at 94. It was Nicholson who just came flying in and collided with his catcher, giving Luke Nixon another chance for an insurance run. But Kentucky got out of it. Nicholson sprays this to left. It's hit well. It's carrying. It's gone. An opposite field game-tying home run in the bottom of the ninth. Well, he is their home run leader. It's his 22nd of the season. Kentucky has hit 2 homers today. Both of them tucked down that left field line. He hit it .349. That doesn't get out anywhere in this ballpark except directly down the line. McCarthy, who is homered today, is up. Strike 1 to him. He snaps in a slider. Kentucky had not trailed this entire postseason until that inning. Inside on McCarthy, 1-1. Didn't take him long to even it back up. Line drive, base hit. And now McCarthy is aboard. He turned on it and smoked it out of the reach of Alec Makarevich and into left. And now Kentucky wants to call another conference. Again, Derek Smith, he's in that bullpen. So Kentucky conferencing. Duden shuffling some dirt around on the mounds. Back-to-back hard contacts. Boy, the 6 and 7 hitters for Kentucky have done almost all the damage. 3 hits for Nicholson, 2 for McCarthy now. They've got 5 of the 8 hits. Let's go! Again, with the way the wind was howling in today, if you had asked me before the game, would we see a home run in this game, I would have told you probably not. 2 of them. And both from a Wildcats team that, yeah, they can hit the ball out of the park, don't get me wrong, but their brand is really small ball. They have hit 15 fewer home runs than NC State. 2 home runs from Kentucky. Of course, the one from Makarevich, that was a blast. And 2 home runs down the line. Now, again, McCarthy is the center fielder. He can run, but he's been dealing with a hamstring issue. He scored the game-winning run as the NC State infield now will get together. I see Cooper Consiglio starting to throw as well. Now, McCoy's a switch hitter. Then you got a couple of right-handed batters behind him. So this conference for NC State, and Cooper Consiglio just started to get up. So if you were going to bring him in, I think you would do it to face McCoy, who is 0 for 3 today. Or is he loosening up to maybe see Petrie, who, again, we're 4 batters away from the 2-hole hitter Petrie. And Consiglio looks like he's throwing quickly. He's not just kind of casually loosening up. Coach Avon is making his way out to talk with home plate umpire Mike Morris. Now, they have McCoy listed as a switch hitter, but this is going to be a pinch hitter. Patrick Herrera. I couldn't see. I was saying, wait a second. Is he going to bat from the right side here? No. Junior Patrick Herrera, who hasn't played since the SEC tournament against South Carolina. The pinch runner as well, that's Ty Crittenberger at first. And now Coach Avon is going to make his way to the mounds to make a move. Again, NC State clearly was trying to take as much time as possible there. And again, Smith has been down there. So that tells me that despite the fact that there's a right-handed batter coming up, they want to get Consiglio in this game. Apologies. For some reason, they just turned up the effects mic a ton for that organ music. We are tied in the bottom of the 9th. Ryan Nicholson led off the inning with a solo shot. And then Nolan McCarthy singled behind him. NC State is going to make the change. I believe they just signaled for the right-hander. Smith still throwing in that bullpen. Yeah, he just threw his final pitch. Gets a sip of water, and he's going to come in. NC State led in this game for 1 batter before the leadoff man Nicholson homered. And here comes D-Rock, Derek Smith, who sent the pack to Omaha with a 9-out performance against Georgia. He will jog in from that right field bullpen, inheriting a man on first and nobody out. Pinch hitter Patrick Herrera is the batter of record, but Duden will walk off the mound to hand the ball to Smith and encourage him as he makes his way off. We'll take a 60-second pitching change break and let Derek Smith warm up. Part of what's made NC State so good all year long, having not one but two closers. And it is Duden handing the ball to Smith. Tied at 4. Leadoff man after the home run aboard. Nobody out. Back in a moment from Learfield.
Thousands of our teammates make and deliver 300 of Coca-Cola's brands and flavors locally. From the heartland to the coast, in big cities and small towns, our products are moving and our trucks are rolling. We share a purpose, and we love to refresh and serve our communities. We are Coca-Cola Consolidated, your local bottler.
Together, that's how we stay in the game, ready to play. As one team, UNC Health is keeping you well with renewed focus and approach to care services for you and your family. UNC Health, official healthcare provider of NC State Athletics. Learn more at unchealth.org/sports. Again, that's unchealth.org/sports.
Derek Smith out of the bullpen, trying to keep NC State alive in this game. Bottom of the 9th, and Kentucky with a solo shot to start the inning tied the game. They have chased Jacob Duden off the mounds. McCarthy on first after a single. Pinch run by Ty Crittenberger, grad student from Florida. If that name sounds familiar, his sister Mackenzie played soccer at NC State. He's the pinch runner. And the pinch hitter is Patrick Herrera for Kentucky. This is in the 8-hole spot for James McCoy. See if Herrera is bunting. First a pickoff attempt, and Crittenberger slides back in safely. Making his 22nd appearance of the year, he is a perfect 7 for 7 stealing bases. So again, with McCarthy, I think with that hamstring, that lingering hamstring issue, Crittenberger has an aggressive lead. Not moving here. Bunt shown, taken away. It's a strike anyways. Likely going to be a lot of sliders from Smith. It is a plus pitch. Scout saying this is a major league slider, and he is going to pitch for the collegiate national team for Team USA over the summer. Another check to first, and Crittenberger back in. Crittenberger went 0 for 1 in the Super Regional. That's his only appearance in any game since May 12th. But here he is as a pinch runner. Perfect 7 for 7 stealing bases. Again, a big lead for him. Not moving here, and a slider is down and away. 1-1. Smith to the plate. A bunt and a good one in front of home plate. Smith will barehand and make the throw to first. Out number 1. The sacrifice goes 1-3. So Crittenberger doesn't steal the base. NC State makes them at least sacrifice and use up and out. Again, it was the small ball of Kentucky, the number 2 team in the country, that was so concerning coming into this game. It's been the long ball that's gotten them to this point. Tied at 4 in the bottom of the 9th. Now 1 out for the shortstop Grant Smith. 0 for 3 today, 3 flyouts. Strike 1. Crittenberger, who does run well now in scoring position. He represents the winning run. Duden stranded a man on third with 1 out in the 8th. Smith trying to keep him from scoring here in the 9th. Swing and a miss. Strike 2. It is such a good slider. Smith couldn't hit it that time. Derek Smith sets at the belts and delivers. Just got a piece of the slider this time, rolls it foul. Smith, 3 years at Incarnate Word before transferring to Kentucky. Hit 281 last year, 248 coming into today, and again 0 for 3 today. The pitch from Smith, hit on the ground to third. Amack has it, looks the runner off to second. They get the out at first, and now Crittenberger's trying to go to third. He's safe at third. Butterworth applied the tag. I thought he was out. NC State wants this reviewed immediately. Again, he's played just one time in the last month, and Kentucky tries to cause chaos.
Third base. The previous play is under review.
You hear that as they've got the umpires mic'd up. That's third base umpire Scott Klein saying the previous play under review. I thought he was out. Butterworth swiping the tag. Oh, man. He may have been safe, but if you're not a fan of the giant oven mitts, Crittenberger had that oven mitt on. He is safe. But only because, again, if you're unfamiliar, the reason they call it the oven mitt, that's what it looks like, right? It's meant to protect the fingers so you don't break a finger. Kentucky fans cheering because they've seen the review a couple times. I thought he was out live. If he doesn't have that oven mitt on, extending essentially the length of his hand, I think he's out. I haven't seen anything on a number of looks here that would be enough to overturn. I think this call is going to stand. If you're Ty Crittenberger, though, you might be wondering why risk making the third out at third. It was a routine ground ball to third base. Makarevich looked him back, then threw to first, and Crittenberger took off. And probably a poor base running decision, but maybe with the help of his equipment right there, the oven mitt, extending his reach, he got it on the base. I have heard number of...
After review, the safe call at third base is...
The microphone broke up right there.
NC State,
he said confirm.
Has one challenge remaining for the game.
So Crittenberger does advance to third. Of course, what that does is now you cannot afford balk or wild pitch, pass ball. Thought that was going to get NC State out of the inning right there. It was a good throw from Pennington back across the diamond. Here comes the leadoff man, Ryan Waldschmidt, who is 0 for 4 today with a couple of strikeouts. Kentucky with the winning run 90 feet away. First pitch, off the plate. Of course, if you're Derek Smith, you got to be aware, just because Kentucky likes to cause chaos, you do have to be aware of the runner on third, Crittenberger. He doesn't have a big lead. Pitch to Waldschmidt. Down and away with a slider again. 2-0. 2 outs in this bottom of the 9th inning. NC State needs Derek Smith to get one more out here. It's 2-0. Ball 3, and Kozar blocks a bouncing ball. And that's where that extra base from Crittenberger, as risky as it was, really turns up the intensity on any pitch in the dirt. Emilian Petrie is on deck, the 2-hole hitter. Smith on 3-0. There's a strike. Well, he's showing him slider after slider, and Waldschmidt has seen it here. And the pitch. Ball 4. Down and away. Kozart smothered it. And again, with 2 outs in the bottom of the 9th, a base runner on first, meaningless for Smith. It does get you to the lefty, Petrie. Took a peek to the NC State bullpen. Remember, Consiglio is throwing earnestly earlier. He is no longer throwing. This is not a situation where NC State's going to try to match up left on left. Again, they would like to force extra innings here. Smith 1 out away from doing it. Kentucky 90 feet away from winning it. On the corners now, Petrie the batter. Strike 1. He has been tough to get today. Had a double-digit AB against Highfield in the first and eventually doubled. He walked in the third, walked again in the 8th. It was Petrie who was stranded on third. Smith fires outside. Slider, slider, slider. The junior from Quebec at bat. In a 1-1 count, Smith gives up a foul ball. Strike 2. Just protecting there was Petrie. Both fan bases getting into it here. Wolfpack fans want to see a strike. And Smith to force extras. He sets at the belts and delivers. Away. Ball 2. Three infielders on the right side shifting. Makarevich all by himself on the left side. Smith sets again. Ball 3. With that shift, it's letting Krittenberger with Amack playing far off the bag. It's letting Krittenberger get well down the line, which means it doesn't have to get very far from Cozart for him to score. Three and 2 with 2 outs. Smith, hard hit off of his glove. It goes to second. Fielded by Butterworth. They get the out. 1-6-3. We will head to extra innings. Butterworth would have been there if Smith hadn't knocked it down, but on a hop, it goes in and out of his glove and got far enough to make its way to Butterworth, who's able to throw out Petrie and take us to the 10th. Take a breath, everybody. Free baseball. 4-4 our score. It'll be Hummel, the closer, pitching for Kentucky. It'll be Hefner leading off inning number 10. 9 innings, not enough to decide NC State and Kentucky in this opening game for both schools in the 2024 Men's College World Series. Pac-9 baseball here from Learfield.
Hey, Wolfpack fans, Bojangles is ready for game day. Bojangles, proud sponsor of Wolfpack Baseball, is home of the tailgate meal. 8 pieces of seasoned Cajun fried chicken, 2 picnic-sized fixins, 4 made-from-scratch buttermilk biscuits, and a half a gallon of Bojangles iced tea. Whether it's before or after the game, baseball and Bojangles, a Wolfpack tradition.
Hey, Pack fans, did you know over the past decade, Rebels Turf and Tractor and John Deere have provided turf equipment to maintain the sports fields at NC State? They're pleased to feature new and pre-owned golf and sports turf maintenance equipment. Rebels Turf and Tractor has a location in Myrtle Beach and their home base in Fuquay Marina or RebelsTractor.com. You're now able to provide the same field conditions that the Pack plays on each week with the help of Rebels Turf and Tractor. Rebels Turf and Tractor is proud to support Wolfpack Athletics.
We start the top of the 10th. NC State and Kentucky tied at 4. Andrew Sanders back with you here from Omaha. What a game this has been. Both teams much deeper into their bullpens than they maybe thought they'd be an inning or 2 ago. Johnny Hummel, the pitcher to face Matt Hefner. He starts him with a breaking ball strike. Just like Derek Smith, it's been a lot of breaking balls from Hummel. 8-9-1 due up for the Pac-9. Chase Nixon is on deck. Hefner with the line shot into center field, laying out and making the catch in center field is Crittenberger. My goodness. He makes a diving catch for a guy that's played, now this is his second game in a month. Because remember, they pinch ran Crittenberger for McCarthy, and Hefner hit it well, diving to his right and making the play. Ty Crittenberger. Got to tip your cap. That defensive play will get a star next to it. Chase Nixon's turn now. 1 out, bases empty, tie game in the 10th. Almost starts him with a fastball strike. Chase came in to pinch hit in the 8th, and he drew a walk. He gave Serrano a chance, who's on deck. Serrano hit it on a line right at Petrie, the second baseman. Ball away. NC State, couple more hits than Kentucky. Chase Nixon way out in front, 1-2. Couple more hits. And really, feels like, NC State has had more opportunities, but Kentucky's hit the big home runs for the most part. Chase Nixon takes a breaking ball low. Count evens at 2 apiece. Of course, not to overlook the 7th inning blast by Makarevich that really changed this game. Chase's dad, Trot, looking on with a Chase Nixon t-shirt. 2-2, hit foul. Maybe a little foresight there. What can number 12 come up with here? Facing the Kentucky closer. He is called out on strikes. And that's one that Chase didn't think was a strike. There's ones that you know as soon as it crosses home plate. He was trying to plead his case, but it is out number 2. And that breaking ball finished low, but where it crossed the plate very well might have been at the knees or at least close enough. 2 gone now. Serrano. Strike 1. The Kentucky bullpen hadn't allowed a run in the last 4 postseason games. Serrano checked his swing. 1-1. Shift is on for him. So they allowed a run in the 9th, but then Duden gave up a home run to Nicholson to tie it. Serrano way out in front of the breaking ball. Serrano down the count 1-2, steps out of the box momentarily to gather himself. Now he's ready to go. Ground ball foul. Remember, it was a 2-strike, 2-out situation when Makarevich homered in the 7th. Completely changed this game. Serrano takes up and out. 2 balls, 2 strikes. There is a lefty in the Kentucky bullpen. Serrano goes down swinging. Boy, 1, 2, 3 for the Wildcats closer. They will bring 3, 4, 5. Due up in the bottom of the 10th. We are knotted up at 4 here in Omaha. NC State baseball from Learfield.
This season, the peanut farmers of North Carolina are proud to support the Pac-9 and remind you that peanuts are high in protein and contain 0 cholesterol. Peanuts are a snack for on the go, at home, or while you're cheering on the Pack at Doak Field. North Carolina peanut farmers are a proud sponsor of NC State baseball.
Thousands of our teammates make and deliver 300 of Coca-Cola's brands and flavors locally. From the heartland to the coast, in big cities and small towns, our products are moving and our trucks are rolling. We share a purpose, and we love to refresh and serve our communities. We are Coca-Cola Consolidated, your local bottler.
Andrew Sanders back with you, bottom of the 10th. A tense, dramatic game. Here's what's on the line. A tie game in the bottom of the 10th. We're tied at 4. Derek Smith going to try to maneuver his way through the middle of the Kentucky batting lineup. Burks and Lopez and Daly, 3, 4, 5 due up. And take us to the 11th. What's on the line here in game 1 for both of these teams? In Texas A&M and Florida, the other two teams in this bracket, they will play at 7 o'clock Eastern tonight is when they're scheduled. NC State trying to get to the winner's bracket and play Monday night. Smith's first pitch of the inning to Burks. Brushes him back a little bit, ball 1. The loser of this game will play the early game, 2 o'clock Eastern, 1 o'clock local time. One and 0 to Mr. Wildcat. It's a strike. Not only do you get, this is just like a regional in that it is imperative to start 2-0, but in the past in Omaha, you would at least get a day off. Not the case anymore in the loser's bracket. Burks spins away from it, 2-1. So the loser of this game will play the early game Monday, and then again, lose again, your season's done. If you win, you play again Tuesday. If you win, you play again Wednesday. If you win, you play another game Thursday. Burks just lays off as Smith is not throwing that slider for a strike right now. So win the game, you play Monday, and then if you win that one, you get to play Wednesday. A lot more rest that way. 3-1. He walked him. Went to the sinker there, and I might have missed 1 or 2, but I think that might be the first one called, to be honest. The catcher, Burks, on base with 19 stolen bases. 3 straight innings, NC State's allowed the leadoff man on, and it's a dangerous way to live here in a tie game in extras. Lopez now takes a ball. Again, Kentucky has not attempted a stolen base. With the cleanup man Lopez, their best hitter, would be surprised if he's bunting, but Amax on the infield grass just in case. 1-0. Hit in the air to center. It's directly at Serrano. Makes the grab. 1 out. Really didn't even have to move for it. Standing right in the middle of that center field and cut into a circle as part of the trophy that the grounds crew has done so creatively, symbolizing it's cut in the exact shape of the trophy that the national champion will receive. So Lopez does not move the runner over. 1 out with a man on first for Mitchell Daly. And a pickoff attempt. Back safely is Burks. Smith has thrown 25 pitches so far, matching his jersey number. 5-hole hitter Daly squares to bunt, but takes it away. It's a ball. He had a hit in the first on line drive. He did try to sneak a bunt in with 2 outs in the third, and Sam Highfill made a great defensive play to throw him out. Highfill going 7 innings, allowing 3 runs today. There goes the runner. Swing and a miss. Cozart throws down to second. He got him! Jacob Cozart gets outnumbered 2 with a cannon to second base. That erases the leadoff walk. It's a ball and a strike on Daly with the bases empty. Slider gets over. 1-2. They hadn't tested Jacob Cozart all game. They tried it in the 10th, and he was up to the challenge. Smith trying to finish the frame. Daly launches left field. It's deep. Ball game. 3 games in Omaha so far, and all 3 have ended in a walk-off. Kentucky hadn't had a walk-off win all season long. And Mitchell Daly with a home run, his 7th of the season. Kentucky's 3rd of the game. They win it 5-4. Boy, after the caught stealing, 2 out, base is empty, had the Wildcats down to their final strike in the 10th. And Mitchell Daly put one into the Kentucky bullpen. And they are moving on to the winner's bracket 1-0. For NC State, this one's going to sting. With a 9th inning, 1-run lead. It was a solo shot in the 9th and a solo shot in the 10th. Looked like NC State, it was going to be their day. After the Makarevich home run tied it in the 7th, and then Pennington scored on a wild pitch in the 9th. Seemed like the comeback pack were going to do it. But Kentucky uses the long ball on a day in which the wind was blowing in here in Omaha. The last thing you would expect. But again, Daly had been here twice already with Texas. He's played on this stage a bunch. Only 6 home runs all season for him in 52 starts. But he comes up with a 2-strike, 2-out home run to send Kentucky into the winner's bracket. Baseball can be cruel sometimes. But that's the thing about playing here in Omaha. Every team you play is elite. And this was a game in which, both Kentucky and NC State battled for 10 innings. And the Wildcats, on the strength of the home run ball, enough to win it 5-4. In our post-game show, we will have for you highlights. We'll have final stats. They are also kind enough to provide us with a feed to the post-game press conference. The losing team goes first in that press conference. We would carry it one way or the other. Certainly would have stuck around and waited for the press conference if NC State had won this game. We will certainly stick around, of course, as they will be going first. Just the 3rd walk-off home run since they moved from Rosenblatt to this ballpark back in 2011. Just the 3rd walk-off home run ever at this ballpark. Again, just what you'd least expect. Five to 4 the final. Post-game next from Learfield.
Together, that's how we stay in the game, ready to play. As one team, UNC Health is keeping you well with renewed focus and approach to care services for you and your family.